The entire week is just a build-up to Friday, because Friday night is game time, because Friday night is football night. And now you're a part of the experience with My RDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career. You're only seconds away from tonight's matchup. Jordan takes on Hillside. Get ready for the hits, the big plays, and all the action. This is Friday Night Rivals.
My RDC's Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career, barrels into the Bowl City, where 5 little miles separate 2 big Durham rivals. Tonight from Russell Blunt Memorial Stadium on the campus of Hillside High, it's the 31st edition. The Jordan Falcons duel the Hillside Hornets. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Durham, North Carolina. Patrick Keenis alongside former ECU standout Jay Sohnhalter. And Jay, still seeing some after effects from Hurricane Florence. Jordan's playing for the second time in 5 days. Meanwhile, Hillside with an off week and also a game canceled due to the hurricane. They're on the field for the first time in 3 weeks. How do the coaches optimize the talent they have on the field tonight?
Well, it's going to be an interesting dynamic because one team's fresh and one team's probably going to be tired. But the biggest thing is which team's going to get into the flow of this ball game the earliest. With that long rest time and then with a short week, which team's going to be the most mentally prepared when the game's kicked off.
Well, let's get to our stars to watch, because we know the quarterback for Jordan is going to be fully prepared. He's their all-time leading passer. What does he bring to the table? Ben
Miller's outstanding. He's great in the pocket, but also he can get outside the pocket. He can throw every ball in the playbook. He's got a strong arm. He's also a baseball player. He's committed to Penn, but he's a senior leader for this team. On the other side, Hillside, they've got a great defensive end, David Mazavanika. He's going to be chasing after Ben Miller. He's a sturdy edge rusher. He can really get after the quarterback. He's 6'4", 245. He's a power player on the end.
Each of these teams went to the postseason last year. Jordan comes in 1-4, Hillside 2-2, but a couple of young squads as they match up tonight. Let's go to Aaron Summers with more on that. Aaron?
Thanks, Patrick. Jordan and Hillside are both very young squads, but with 4 games under their belt, both coaches are hoping that they're playing like the true varsity players that they are. For Jordan to get the win here today, they have to make sure that they secure the football. They have to eliminate the turnovers. And another focus this week in practice was tackling on the defensive side. For the Hillside Hornets, they haven't played since September 7th, so they need to make sure that they come out of the gate fast and strong in order to stay up with that game day tempo. On the other side, they have to make sure that they win the battle at the line. Coach Harrison said that it's very important that they win it on the offensive and defensive side if they want to get the win here today. Don't go anywhere. The kickoff between Jordan and Hillside is coming up next.
And there you get a beautiful end zone look here at Hillside High School. Hillside taking on Jordan in our Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. Presented by My Computer Career. You're watching live right here on My RDC. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, and a look at the Hillside Hornet captains as they try to pick up their 3rd victory of the season. It's been a long time since they've been out getting ready for a coin toss. 3 weeks, as a matter of fact, not since September the 7th.
It's 3 week bye week there, Patrick. It's not something that you're used to at all. And well, you're anxious before any ball game, but I know those guys, they're tired of practicing. They're tired of hitting their own teammates. They're ready to go.
Well, tired is the operative word, because you played a lot of high school football. You played college football. I'm not sure you've ever played 2 games within a 5-day span. What do the Falcons and the coaching staff in particular, what do they need to be most attentive to as far as how that toll is taken on their players?
The biggest thing is you've got to make sure you keep guys fresh. When you play Monday night, it's going to take you 2, 3, sometimes even 4 days to really recover. But all of a sudden, you don't have the weekend to recover after that last game. You've got to get going here. So the biggest key I'm going to watch, especially on defense, is the depth they have rotating guys in and out, and they've got to get off the field on 3rd down on defense to keep their defense fresh.
All right, getting ready now for the United States Marine Corps coin toss. You see the Falcons on the left, the Hornets on the right. And our
Jordan, you being the visiting team, we have the pleasure of having Sergeant Costa here. He will actually do the flip for us. You're going to mind coming up, Sergeant Costa? What are you going to call when he flips?
Tails.
You want tails. He wants tails. Go ahead, sir. And it is actually a heads. That means, Hillside, you have won the toss. What do you want to do? You want to defer to the second half, guys. That means You want the ball, correct?
There's Gary Wiley, our referee tonight. That's the United States Marine Corps coin toss. Thank you to the United States Marine Corps for tonight's coin toss. The few, the proud, the Marines. Contact your local recruiter today. So Hillside wins the toss. They will defer. Jordan will take the football as these two teams meet for the 31st time. We were talking about the Falcons playing back on Monday. We were talking with Anthony Barber, their head coach, on the field about a half an hour ago. It really not only disrupts their practice week, but they were right back on the field in pads on Tuesday and Wednesday, and kind of a easy walkthrough yesterday. So not really that day off that is typically mandated because of the hurricane.
Well, and for your body, you don't have time to recover. I mean, it takes multiple days, but also the other aspect of it is that preparation for this game, film study, and just get mentally ready to go. It's a quick turnaround, so they weren't able to watch as much film as normal in a normal game week. All
right, let's introduce the third member of our broadcast team, Aaron Summers, who's down with a very special guest. Aaron?
If somebody wanted to join the Marine Corps, what would be their first step?
Their first step would be contacting their local recruiter by either 1-800-MARINES or researching a recruiting station on any social media or anything like that.
As a Marine recruiter, what is your role in the community?
My role is really to give back to the community and bring more of a sense of purpose to some of these kids that really, really need it.
Did you enjoy being a part of the coin toss here to get things started?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm very happy to do it.
Thanks. Patrick?
All right, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Staff Sergeant Costa. And there are the Jordan Falcons ready to bring the American flag onto the field as we count down to kickoff. Jordan and Hillside. Patrick Keenis and Jay Solnhalter here. And Jay, it's also the last non-conference game to get ready for really the games that matter. You've had now a month and a half of practice and some out-of-conference games to get ready for then the second season, which is getting into conference play, which begins next week.
Yeah, the game really changes next week, but both of these teams, even though it's still early part of the season, there's still a lot they're learning about each other, but the goal always is to build up to conference play. So next week, the real season starts, but anytime you have a rivalry, the real game here, this game circled on the schedule, both these teams, so much motivation here tonight.
And the junior Jonathan Cradle sprints the American flag to the far side, and here come the Hillside Hornets. 4-2 in the Big 8 last year, locked arm in arm as they try to knock off Jordan for the 11th consecutive time. It should be a good one here tonight, and one of the things that Aaron Summers brought up as we came on the air was the challenge that Ray Harrison has with the youth of his team. He lost a lot of key skill players, especially last year. So not only is it youth, but now you're dealing with the disruption in the weekly norm for a very young team. How big of a factor could that be for Coach Harrison tonight?
It's huge, Patrick, because you want to have a routine. As a football player, as a coach, especially with young players, you want them to be progressively getting better, and it's hard to get better when you don't practice, when you have wet field conditions because of the hurricane, and then you don't have games. You improve in practice, but you learn the most and you improve the most from games and then film study after that. So it's kind of a disruption for his team mid-season here, but I know they did the best they could during practice preparing for this moment here tonight.
And meanwhile, Jordan a little bit banged up with 3 would-be starters out due to injuries tonight. They've been out for a couple of weeks as well. We'll bring you more of those details as this game goes underway. And there are the Hillside Hornets trying to continue their dominance in this series. They've won 10 straight. The teams did not meet last year, back on the schedule here in 2018. Hillside gets in a Big 8 play next week. Southern Durham, Jordan, part of the Tri-6, will take on Athens Drive, which currently is winless going into this weekend. But they need some big offensive games. There's a look at C.J. Robinson, and he's one of the key guys offensively. This is a pass-oriented Jordan team. You wonder what the field conditions will do for the offensive line and for the quick-cutting wide receivers for the Falcons. As we get ready now for the Next Care kickoff. When you need urgent care, Next Care strives to ensure you and your family will experience the highest level of care. Ready to go. Hillside in the dark uniforms on the left side of your screen. And the Jordan Falcons on the right. And we are underway. And a short kick, right at about the 13-yard line. Veering off to the left side. And And that's going to be C.J. Robinson taking across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Pretty good field position as we take a look at the My Computer Career starting lines. First off for the Falcons, everything revolves around the arm and the legs of Ben Miller.
The star quarterback, he can throw it. He can throw it deep, too, with accuracy. They've got to protect him up front so he can find his playmakers.
If you're not happy with your current job in as little as 4 months, you can be starting an information technology career. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. So the Jordan Falcons senior quarterback Ben Miller out of the shotgun and very first play. We'll see a lot of this formation tonight. 5 receivers juggling a high snap and now a broken play as Miller's being chased and brought down right around the original line of scrimmage by Brian Harrison, the junior for Hillside. And a look at the My Computer Career starting defense for the Hornets.
David Madzivanika, he's the star defensive end, but they've got speed on the defensive side. Now, Patrick, it's going to be important for them to break down missed tackles, an area to watch here tonight with the wet field condition.
And a couple of yard gain on that high snap. And here's Ben Miller, who will wind up his career. And that snap goes way over his head, and it's a loose ball around the 18-yard line. Piling on are the Hornets. Travian Womack signals to the Hornets may have this football, and they do not. It is recovered at the last moment by Jordan's Andrew Hayes.
Well, that ball just shooting straight up in the air, and McMillan the center and Miller not really in cohesion here to start off the ball.
And that is a very shaky beginning for the Jordan Falcons. They will spot this football back at the 18-yard line, so a 15-yard loss. Third down, and they need to reach about the 43-yard line. So third and 25. Snap handled this time by Miller. Plenty of time to throw. And he throws it too far in advance of James Jeanette in the right flat. Then they'll bring up 4th down immediately for the Falcons.
And just those snaps really put Jordan in a bad field position there, a bad opportunity on their first drive. They wanted to get off to a good start here. And now another area is we've seen already handling the football on offense, but also defense, special teams. Why special teams is going to be a huge area tonight here on these punt snaps.
Well, just a simple exchange right there for a shotgun-oriented team. And a tough opening for the Jordan Falcons. Low snap, grabbed and booted away by Andrew Hayes. This will land on the other side of the 50 and take a Falcon bounce of about 11 or 12 yards. Will be touchdown to the 39-yard line by Josiah Newell. So an unproductive first series for Jordan, but a good punt will at least somewhat flip the field position as we get a look right there at the quarterback for Hillside. So Damian Harris, just a junior. He's thrown for 384 yards. He's run for 274. This is a team that doesn't put it through the air all that often, 10, 15 times a game, especially with these kind of choppy field conditions between the hashes. And under center, Damian Harris. First play from scrimmage. Gives the tailback. This is Davis. Spun forward. Picks up about 4 yards.
And Antonio Davis is a big running back, but they rely on their offensive line. Damian Harris, the star. But that offensive line really sturdy up front in the power of this unit.
There's the starting offense for the Hornets, brought to you by My Computer Career. Visit mycomputercareer.edu. Take the free career evaluation. In as little as 4 months, you could be starting an information technology career. Second down, a long 5. Second opportunity here for Davis. And get to the second level and in to Jordan territory, about the 47-yard line. And now look at the Falcon defense, brought to you by My Computer Career.
Their secondary is so good tackling. They're really going to have to do a good job, though, on run support. Secondary players, they're not going to have a lot of targets with Hillside not throwing the ball. They're going to have to come up into the box and not allow any missed tackles.
And sophomore Brandon Turner, the tailback. And he will get the call. Running downhill, a lot of room, breaks one tackle, swings to the outside. Big play for Turner down the sideline. He may go, and he does. Touchdown for the sophomore, Brandon Turner, from 48 yards out. And the second touchdown of the year for the sophomore. And an early 6-0 lead for Hillside.
Well, his 12th carry of the season, but Turner, he's the speed threat coming out of the backfield. This is old school, just an inside zone play, fullback Jones sealing off the edge, zigging and zagging, all it is one missed tackle, and then Turner took off, turned on the Jets, and a great start for Hillside.
So a disappointing offensive drive for Jordan. Hillside, meanwhile, is 3 plays. Takes it down the field. Big chunk run by Turner from 49 yards out. Low snap. Now they'll improvise, looking for 2. Sprinting away is Miles. Dillon reverses field, and Dillon angles toward the goal line, flips end over end, and he is in. A 2-point conversion by Miles Dillon, and the first couple minutes could not be going any better for Hillside. 8-0 in favor of the Hornets.
That just shows you how athletic Dillon is. You never see the holder have to go opposite fields there to get in the end zone, and there a missed tackle right there. You got to bring them down. And Dillon going to the other side, and they're getting the power into the end zone for 2.
It is rolled right over the top of the shoulders of Marcus Green. And a terrific start for the Hillside Hornets. 8-0 lead for Hillside, and the long touchdown run by Brandon Turner and the 2-point conversion. As we get a look at our Saltwater Seafood scoring summary. 3 plays, 1 minute and 4, and the big finish right there by the sophomore Turner.
Well, and Turner just really waited for the line to set up their blocks, and then he shot through the gap quickly. That offensive line got the push up front, really got a lot of movement.
Saltwater Seafood Market in Fry Shack, fresh seafood daily. 8-0 lead for Hillside, who's 2.5 minutes into the opening quarter. And another NextCare kickoff. When you need urgent care, NextCare strives to ensure you and your family will experience the highest level of care. 8-0 Hillside. Here is Jordan Johnson, who did not get an opportunity at the extra point with that low snap. And a line drive kick grabbed the 20-yard line. Blockers straight ahead. And the tackle around the 36-yard line. The football nearly taken away. But holding on to it again is C.J. Robinson, number 11 for Jordan.
And Deontre Brown coming down first on the coverage unit, but Hillside, as they ran down, they really broke down well. On a kickoff team, usually you fly down the field, try to get down there as quick as possible, but with these field conditions, they really stayed in their lane, slowed down to make sure they didn't slip.
All right, well, there's Ben Miller, senior quarterback, who has the number 1, number 2, and number 3 all-time single-season marks in terms of passing yardage. Offensive Player of the Year in the Tri-6 last year. He will give it off on first down and to about the 37-yard line. A couple of yards there for Andrew Hayes.
Jordan, they're going to have to run the football. They're a predominant pass team, but in order to have that balance and to keep the Hillside defense honest, they've got to create this ground attack, especially with the field being wet. They've got to take advantage of it and try to lean on this defensive line of the Hornets to open up the play-action game.
Already a very important second drive now for Jordan. Low snap again, pressure coming, and Miller will simply not get away. Just make sure he doesn't turn the ball over, and gang tackled back around the 20-yard line. We'll see where they mark him down. But we've seen now 3 faulty exchanges in the shotgun here for the Falcons.
Oh, this is just something that when you're low snap, when the ball's high, you can't get the play off. You're just shooting yourself in the foot, and then the Hornets defense, they just feast off of that. And now, 3rd and long situation, 2 drives, 2 3rd and longs. This offense is really putting themselves in a tough position.
So it's Eric McMillan. The center is replaced, and now it's 3rd down. Again, the line of reach is the 47-yard line. So 3rd and about 22. Miller swings it out. Reception made by Caleb Hall. And Hall strung out to the sideline, still on his feet, and then finally driven back. And the ball springs loose, but the whistle was already blown. And that'll be a stop on forward progress right there. And it will bring up another 4th down for the Jordan Falcons.
And here a safe play call, just getting the ball out of Miller's hands quickly. But look at the Hornets defense. There's 4, 5 guys running after the football, and that's what you've got to do. That's a good defense of play right there. Everybody going to the ball and attacking.
You could say they were swarming. 8-0 to Hillside. And already a lot of concern for Anthony Barber on the sideline for Jordan is to keep his team spirits up in what has been a dispiriting first 5 minutes. Pressure coming, and nobody back to return the punts again here for Hillside. They basically attacked the line of scrimmage with all 11.
I'm not sure why they didn't have anybody back there. That's the second time, and the ball's bounced about 10 to 15 extra yards both times, so helping out Jordan as far as field position goes.
All right, 8-0 lead for Hillside. Let's go down in the field, and Aaron Summers. Aaron?
Coming into tonight's game, Coach Ray Harrison was concerned about his team's ability to come out of the gate quickly. They haven't played since September 7th due to Hurricane Florence and then the following bye week. So he was worried about their ability to transfer from practice speed to game speed. So far, it looks like these guys came out ready and eager to play.
Yeah, so far the defense has been terrific. The one long run by Brandon Turner after a couple of bowling rushes by Antonio Davis. And a procedure penalty being marked off against Jordan. So this drive will begin at the 36-yard line. You know, the sophomore Brandon Turner had that 48-yard touchdown run. He gets the early rotation here in the second possession for Hillside. Davis, the fullback, offset. See what Jordan's defense can manufacture. Turner again gets to the edge. And a nice tackle there by C.J. Robinson into the sideline. Bobbled him up lower body and limited the gain for Turner.
It's great to have running backs with speed, with that extra gear. Right here, not a lot of room for Turner, but then he just turned it on and looked like it was going to be no gain, and then he turned it up for about 4 yards.
Well, it's 2nd and 6. Harris back to Turner. A little bit of a bobble on the exchange, and back to the line of scrimmage is Turner. And a solid tackle made by Gregory Rigsby, who's playing on both lines.
Well, he got double teamed right here. Rigsby fought off the double team. So impressive for a nose tackle there, using your hands, staying low. You're getting double teamed. You've got to somehow shed it, split it, and Rigsby did that.
And when McMillan left the game in that last Falcons offensive series, Rigsby went in and became the backup center. The bad exchanges we've seen. This is 3rd down and long. Picking his way through the middle, Donald Moore across the 50-yard line, and he will have 1st down yardage.
And you can just see Hillside having confidence in their offensive line. Even on 3rd and long there, they're going to pound the rock, and if it's not broke, why fix it?
And that's good for a Blue Cross Blue Shield 1st down. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. So 1st down, Hillside leading 8-0. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. We've already seen the compliments of running backs for Hillside. 3 have already been very productive here in this opening quarter. And Donald Moore, the lone tailback, looking for running room, sneaks through a hole in that left side, and he'll pick up about 12 yards. And another 1st down for Hillside. Excellent patience by Donald Moore.
And Moore there just waiting for the offensive line to set up their blocks. Look at Colin Brown, Jalen Cornish, left tackle, left guard there. Nice block sealing off the edge, and then just darting through for another 1st down.
And boy, Nick Campbell did a great job on Rigsby there, and that led to the big gain of about 12 yards. Another Blue Cross Blue Shield 1st down as the clock is stopped. A timeout called by Jordan, the 5:02 mark of this opening quarter, and right now everything is coming up Hornets so far in this opening quarter. How does Jordan stem the tide and turn the boat around?
Well, they need to get in the game, and they look like they aren't fresh after playing Monday night. And Hillside looks like the team that's motivated right now and clicking on all cylinders. But Jordan, running the ball, they're going to keep running it. So at some point, Hillside's going to keep running the ball, so Jordan's going to have to stop the run. They've got to get off the field defensive-wise. Their defense has been on the field much too long here tonight.
All right, 8-0 lead for Hillside. It's been a tough week of practice for Jordan. Aaron Summers on the sideline has more on that.
Right, with Jordan playing the game on Monday, they basically used up all of their contact hours for the week. So they were unable to go full pad at any point this week. They just went shoulder pads on Tuesday and then kind of had a slow walk through yesterday. So they haven't had a lot of opportunity to go full speed in practice and have to be tired coming off of that game on Monday.
Jay, how much does that matter?
It matters a lot. When I was in high school, we actually had a game with the hurricane situation we had to play on Monday. And I'll tell you what, your body wasn't fresh on Friday night. You didn't have a lot of film time to watch of the opposing team. So it was a quick turnaround, and I felt the effects in my legs especially.
There's a first down play from the 37. 2 hands on the ball, and there's Donald Moore again, stacked up around the 25. That's a start defensively for the Falcons. A small, kind of nominal gain on first down.
And I'll tell you what, though, Coach Harrison pounding the rock, he knows, even though his team is a predominant run team, he knows that Jordan played Monday night, and he knows their legs have to be a little bit tired. So he is continuing to run the ball, using his offensive line to lean on that defensive line, wanting to wear them out.
Ball just outside the 35-yard line. Davis and Turner in the backfield. And this is going to be Harris, maybe with his first throw of the game. Soft touch with the left arm. Yes, right into the cradle of Antonio Davis. And down the right sideline, triple teamed and tackled, but nice soft touch. Doesn't need to be pretty, but just put in the perfect spots. And looking back was Davis, and has floated it right over the spine in front of the quarterback.
Oh, and that's where Harris is so dangerous, when he rolls out of the pocket where he can use his legs. Nice little touch there, just throwing the ball right over the defender. There wasn't really any defenders even close because they were trying to play the run.
Another Blue Cross Blue Shield first down. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. First down to the 17-yard line. Handoff and thrown around, spun around a couple of different times. Isaiah Hargit's on the tackle for the Falcons. One of the few times they've gotten into the backfield with a burst.
Well, and Hargit here coming right up the middle. That's what Jordan's going to have to do. They're going to have to load the box, bring some blitzes, do some late stemming pre-snap, give some different looks to try to confuse this Hillside offense.
All right, so inside the Wake 86 at green zone, help keep Wake County litter free and 86 are trash. Second down carry, he's putting his head down and driving through the right side. Brandon Turner again for a couple of yards. And now here comes really the first key defensive play for the Jordan defensive side of the team.
And I'll tell you, with the field, you figure the kicking is going to be hard to get any type of stable placement with your feet. So this is almost 4-down territory for both teams.
First quarter clock approaching 3:15. First third down faced by Hillside's offense all game. Turner, the tailback, gets the call and can't get through. Brings up 4th down. Akeem Brooks, number 54, on the top of the pile with the tackle. Bill and Joshua there as well. So it's now 4th down, and I'd be shocked if we see a field goal attempt at any point really in this game, because it is fairly treacherous in between the hashes. And on 4th down, we'll see what Hillside elects to do. They need about 4. Damian Harris is going nowhere. He's still on the field as the quarterback.
And setting up in the I formation, I'd expect them just continue to run the power here and run the ball.
And they load up the right side of that line. Bad snap. And whistles are blown. And an illegal procedure going against Hillside.
I'll tell you what, I think they're still going to go for it here, even though you get the penalty. See a little bit of a false start there right on the right side. But I think this offensive unit is going to stay out on the field, and I wouldn't really even expect a pass here. I wouldn't be surprised if they run it. In fact, I think with their personnel on the field, they're going to try to run this ball in.
Well, with that bad exchange, that penalty actually might work in Hillside's favor here. It's now 4th and 8. Another low snap dug out of there by Harris. It's Harris make or break as he stretches that football toward where the marker was. And it's will depend on the spot. I don't think he quite got there. Neither do the Falcons. Needed 8, maybe 9, and he got about 7. So they point the other way, and there's the first big defensive stop for Jordan.
Yeah, just another low snap here, and it's hard to tell whether that was a runner or a pass, but C.J. Robinson, number 11 right here, a great job recognizing Harris, then flying over there, just pushing him out, and with his angle, making him go out of bounds right before he hit the marker.
Well, I don't know what it is. Is it the field? We've seen 5 different exchanges on snaps, either low or high here in this opening quarter. Is it fatigue? Is it field, or is it simply mechanics?
I think it's field, but also too, when you've got a wet field and you're snapping the ball, you've got to worry about that defender coming up and blocking him after you snap it. So it's the field, but also I think it's the focus right now.
So Ben Miller at least is trying to change field position here. He's inside his own 10, and inside the backfield comes the Hornets defense. First on the scene, Jordan Lee, number 41. Davis Rhodes, number 34, in there as well.
And up front, offensive line just getting beat. You've got to create a wall, a wedge on that left side, just nothing developing. And another situation, 2nd and 3rd and long, this Jordan offense really put themselves in bad spots.
Yeah, Falcons put a couple of backs flanking their quarterback, Ben Miller, trying to give him a little more time. Quickly passes to the sideline. The reception is made still outside the 20-yard line. Craig Kroom, one of their top receivers this year, makes the catch. And that brings up 3rd and now manageable for the Falcons, and they simply need a little possession time to move the chains.
Yeah, and smart play call there. And the penalty initially going on Jordan, but then a personal foul going against Hillside here. So we'll see where the marker moves after these penalties.
Yeah, Gary Wiley, a referee in the white hat. And the personal foul roughing the passer going against Hillside. That's going to lead to the Falcons' first down of this game. Trailing 8-0, minute 31 to go in the first quarter. A little more space now for their quarterback, Ben Miller. And they have marked that one all the way off to about the 33-yard line.
First and 10 for Jordan.
3-receiver formation, another low snap dug out of there, but still disrupts the timing of some plays here, and very little there for Emmanuel Jones. One more time, Rhodes is in there on the solo tackle.
On Hillside loading the box. 8 guys in the box. There's not a lot of room to run, but they're playing the run. They're not really respecting the pass right now. They're flying through there, being very aggressive, and for Jordan, they've got to get the play action game going to throw the ball over the linebackers.
You see Rigsby, number 72, is back in as they back up center. 4 different Hornets trying to anticipate the snap count, all go over the line of scrimmage in unison. And that's the easiest call of the night for Gary Wiley. But we talked on the field about an hour before kickoff with Anthony Barber, number 1, about the field conditions, and then number 2, on if that did disrupt what they like to do offensively, what he may do to help get Miller some time.
Yeah, and he was talking about his offensive line protecting him is going to be so important, but it's all been the snaps so far. They really haven't even been able to set up because the snaps have been going left and right and up and down.
Play fake Miller, eyes locked in on the left side, and now just heaves it toward the sideline and out of bounds.
And the pass is incomplete.
31 seconds left in this opening quarter, 8-0 Hillside on the 48-yard touchdown run by Brandon Turner very early in this opening quarter. The one thing that Anthony Barber did tell us, I mean, they really don't utilize tight ends, so there's no big package to help protect Ben Miller. He said, I'm probably going to have to use a couple of my running backs just to help kind of chip block some guys as they put pressure on my quarterback.
And he respects that defense of Hillside. When you use a running back to chip, he can't get out in the pass pattern, so that's one less option. We know how many running backs are good receivers to getting out of the backfield and really helping out the quarterback.
So we'll see what Anthony Hayes does out of the backfield. He simply is up there to try and protect. So he's out of the pattern. A toss down the sideline, nearly intercepted. It still almost got through, but dislodged, intended for Craig Kroom. And that will bring up 4th down as we're inside a half minute for this opening quarter.
And the defensive backs for Hillside, very physical there, coming up in coverage for the quarterback.
So we'll see what Anthony Hayes does out of the backfield.
Simmons getting out of the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, so impressed with his ability there, but then the shot right at the end, and you feel that as a wide receiver. You know when you're going to get hit, and good coverage by the Hornets.
And now for the first time on the 3rd punt tonight by Jordan. First time, though, we see a Hornet back to try and return it, and it's Womack. And Womack caught it with a knee up off the turf. Flag comes in. Womack still on his feet. Big block frees him up. Another flag coming there. This is all coming back. Womack's going to take it to the house. The 2 penalties, both likely going on Hillside. As Traven Womack returns the punt for a touchdown, but 2 penalty markers back behind the play. The second one looked like an illegal block in the back, and the first one might have been an illegal block in the back at the point of contact.
Yeah, this one's going to be coming back, and everybody's going to have to jog on back down the field because it's not going to stand.
Which makes you wonder, though, does a head coach at the end of the year in the banquet, do they still put this highlight on the highlight reel?
If it's a good run, yeah, because everybody by that time will forget that it was a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Womac's fault.
Yeah. Still a touchdown.
So Gary Wiley will determine which penalty will be enforced. And we're waiting for the official adjudication here. It looked like a couple of penalties very likely to go on Hillside. And both on the return team.
We have a personal foul penalty. Charles against Hillside.
So 2 personal foul penalties against Hillside. 1 will be enforced.
We have a holding penalty.
And now it signals another for a block in the back right there. So a 3rd penalty on that punt return. There's one with number 11. There's another vicious block right there by Hillside's Rhodes. That's a dangerous hit.
Yeah. And out of the camera angle, there's about 3 or 4 flags that were hurled into the turf as fast as possible. And referees saw all of those, and this one's going to come back.
And Anthony Barber, head coach for Jordan. 3 seconds left in this opening quarter. Well, this first quarter could have been a whole lot more destructive than it was for Jordan. And now if you get that second defensive stop, you don't allow a couple of first downs, you get the ball back in pretty good field position. But first things first down play. And after all those penalties, the ball spotted right around the 20-yard line. And Harris gives it off to Davis. And another nice stand on the defensive line for the Jordan Falcons. So maybe a little weary when this game began. It looks like they're about to get their sea legs. 8-0 lead for Hillside on the 48-yard touchdown run by Brandon Turner. We are done with one. Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career.
Get ready for this week's matchup. Jordan takes on Hillside. My RDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career. Watch each week as the area's best high schools take the field and battle for victory. Pride, determination, and the will to win. Experience it all live. The best matchups every week. My RDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career.
Miller Mott understands skills. Miller Mott understands goals. Our career-focused medical clinical assistant training makes it easier for you to reach your goals. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Cary.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our tech-filled family of trucks and SUVs, including Titan, Frontier, and Armada. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $14,657 on a 2018 Titan, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, Truck Month ends soon.
We develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Miller Mott understands passion. Miller Mott understands flexibility. We have the game plan for you to get the training you need for an exciting career in massage therapy. Kick off your new career education at Miller Mott College in Cary.
8-0 lead for Hillside on top of Jordan. My RDC's Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career. Patrick Enos, Jay Sohnhalter up here in the booth. Aaron Summers down on the sideline, and an early uppercut landed by Hillside and that long touchdown run by Turner. The Jordan defense got a stand on 4th down. A couple of penalties got them out of jail. And then a couple of penalties on Hillside, and a punt return for a touchdown was easily called back. And now the Falcon defense facing a 2nd and 10 as they try to get right back in this game. Damian Harris, quarterback for Hillside. Lefty, turns to his right, flings it out to the flats, and is not a lot there, looking for Miles Dillon.
It just kind of seems like this Jordan defense, couple solid defensive plays they've strung together here. Kind of feels like they've weathered the storm a little bit. They're starting to get their confidence back here. Big third down coming up for this defense, and specifically this defensive line. They've got to get some pressure on Harris.
Yeah, pickup of 5 on that reception to Miles Dillon, their top receiver here in 2018. But it almost as if both teams are just canceling out any long passes down the field because of footing. That's not really part of the bandwidth of Hillside's offense. Just keeping things in front of them in shorts. This is third down. Looked like some early movement. And a penalty marker flies in, and Gary Wiley will back up the Hillside offense 5 more yards. So that will make it 3rd and 10. Didn't see much on that replay, did you?
Not a lot of movement up there.
So the quick start Ray Harrison was hoping for, but it's turned into a sluggish last 5 or 6 minutes for Hillside. 3rd and 10. Harris winds it up and overshoots Dillon, heading down the seam. So that will bring up 4th down now for Hillside. So 2 defensive stops by the Falcon defense. And should be pretty good field position here after the punt.
In Hillside, they just kind of got away from running the football, and Davis running downfield. So impressive on the first couple drives with Turner. They're now throwing the ball there. I'll tell you what, though, it's very strong arm. You can see Harris, why his coaching staff has so much excitement with his ability. Still only a junior there. That ball was over the wide receiver's head, but he can fling it down the field.
Caleb Hall back to return for Jordan. There's a look at one of the seniors on this Falcon team. And meanwhile, Womack, who returned that punt for a touchdown, punts it away here for Hillside. And this ball will not really roll anywhere. Very thick and slick grass. And that ball landed about the 50-yard line from 35 yards away and rolled about 2 yards untouched. And very good field position. Best of the night for Jordan. And a reminder, coming up at halftime, stay tuned for the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report. We'll have this week's Oxnard-Permar Scholar athletes participating in school interviews with the principals, highlights from across the country, and more. Find new roads today at HendrickChevrolet.com. Best starting position for the Falcons tonight. Quick pass to the sideline. 1 tackle is missed, and Jeanette down the sideline inside the 20. Tiptoes down the side and is angled out. And no penalties are down for the Falcons. Biggest offensive play tonight for Jordan.
Yeah, and Jeanette right here is a quick little out route. Nice throw by Miller, and then the missed tackle, and then you see the speed of Jeanette, one of the best players on the team, an explosive play. You can see this offense kind of gaining confidence from the defensive effort on their last drive, and now this offense in great field position.
And inside the Wake 86 in green zone. Help keep Wake County litter free, and 86 are trash. 8-0 Falcons trail. Ben Miller out of the shotgun, looking left to pump fake. Now he has to run as flags are thrown, and Miller gets it close to the pylon, but this one's coming back. Flags are down. Gary Wiley again signals a hold on the Jordan offense.
Well, Miller there got outside the pocket, and baseball player, you can see his athleticism. He's got the strong arm, but they're also recognizing when to get outside. He looked over towards the right, didn't see anything, and then coming over to the left, and then there's the hold right there. And then he took off, but that play is going to come back.
Yeah, Rhodes, the defensive end, simply couldn't untether himself from a couple of different members of that offensive line for the Falcons. Try as he might. That'll knock back the Falcons 10 yards. First down and 20. Gary Wiley now coming over toward the Hillside sideline. I'm going to chat with Ray Harrison. Now Ben Miller, shortstop, pitcher, third baseman on the baseball squad for Jordan. 4A Baseball Player of the Year last year. Now entering his final season here at Jordan.
Great in the classroom too. Very smart. He's going to Penn, so outstanding academic institution. You know, on the other side of the field, David Matsivanika going to Harvard. So they'll be seeing each other at the collegiate level here. And that's a battle we highlighted in the Open. We really haven't seen Matsivanika get to the backfield. The offensive line doing a good job double teaming him and kind of bottling him up.
After the holding penalty, the ball now outside the green zone, about the 22-yard line. Still first down here for the Falcons, trailing by 8. 10:33 to play in the first half. And Miller again with Hayes giving some protection. Throws toward the pylon left side. Incomplete. And well defended on that sideline by Elijah Graham of Hillside.
Jeanette again on the outside, a tall wide receiver, great length. Miller looking towards him. The ball could have been caught. Nice coverage over on the outside by Graham, staying right on Jeanette's back pocket, but that ball hit him in the hands.
All right, 2nd and 20. Need to reach about the 2-yard line for a first down. Then looked like a little encroachment right there on the defense again of Hillside. Travis Rhodes cannot hide his guilt. Right on the end. I mean, we've seen Hillside try to time the snap a couple of times, and they're 0 for 2.
That's a testament to Miller, though, with the hard count and going on 2, try to slow down and get the penalty, but slow down the pass rush.
2nd and 15. Miller flushed, chased, he's in trouble, spins back, and he's brought down. And who makes up for the mistake? Yes, Rhodes. Just gave the Falcons 5 on the penalty and took back about 9 right there on the sack.
And Rhodes coming off the edge, really looked like 3 guys trying to block him, and then also DeAndre Brown, the 6'6" senior defensive end, coming off the edge too. So both the left and right sides of that offensive line got beat.
So look at Rhodes right there, and Brown has gotten some D1 looks. UNC Charlotte, Coastal Carolina giving him a look. Number 5 lines up on the left side of that defensive line. This is now 3rd down and long. Miller sings it across the middle, and a penalty marker does come through. The pass was not touched. Looking for Caleb Hall down the middle. This might have been either pass interference or defensive holding, perhaps. Caleb Hall certainly, when he came out of that jump, immediately looked at the referee and kind of grabbed his shoulders as if to indicate that they were slowing me down on that route. And it is pass interference on the Hillside defense. And they will repeat 3rd down. It's a 15-yard penalty.
The offensive line protecting up front Miller. We'll see there the hand just grabbing onto him. Referee throwing the flag spot on.
Well, this has been a series littered with penalties on both sides. 3rd down. They need about 12 to pick up the first down to the 2-yard line. Miller, time to throw, lofts it across the middle. Oh, had a man. Just could not connect with Andrew Hayes. Hayes unmarked coming out of the backfield, but threw it 3 yards over him. Brings up 4th down.
And we'll see plenty of time. Just a little pop pass right over the middle. Miller just a little bit too far, trying to loft that ball over the linebackers. Boy, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be dicey here going for a field goal. That field, you can already see it starting to get torn up, and Miller here coming in for the hold.
Yeah, Miller, keep that in mind, because if there's a bad snap, he's the quarterback, or if this is simply a fake as they deployed Robert Eigenrath for a field goal through some very sticky conditions, straight away, and he hooked it. And that is missed. So Jordan Got inside the green zone for the first time tonight, but a field goal is missed, and the lead remains 8 for Hillside. We're coming back with 9:29 to go in the first half. Hillside back on offense when we return.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Get $3,500 total cash on a 2019 Sorento V6 when financed through Kia Motors Finance.
Stepping into the unknown, it can be difficult to find the way. But with the compassion of the cross and the security of the shield, obstacles become openings. As we have for over 80 years, we'll continue to light the way, helping families find the right coverage in all 100 counties, giving you the power to shine forward to whatever awaits tomorrow. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live fearless.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Get 0% APR for 60 months plus $500 SUV bonus cash on the 2019 Sorento.
This field goal by Jordan, 31-yarder from Robert Eigenrock. Tough field conditions. It remains 8-0. Hillside on top of Jordan. And let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers, who has an update on how the field is holding up, Aaron.
Walking around on the field prior to the game, it was already very mushy. And as you can see now on the field, the center of it is completely brown as the dirt has been pulled up. There's no longer grass in several places. Also, check out those white uniforms. Most of them are no longer white, but it's not only the fact that the field is wet, it's also wet in the air, which is causing a lot of moisture to be on the ball and making it a little bit harder for some of the players.
All right, Aaron, don't sink. First down, Hillside with an 8-0 lead. And across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. It's Brandon Turner who had the big first quarter touchdown run for the Hornets.
Gain of 2 yards on the play. Second down.
There's a look at the head coach of Jordan. If you're an NC State fan, you know all about Anthony Barber's career with the Wolfpack. A record-setting 5th year in his senior campaign in Raleigh. And stood up there and driven back after a game about 5 yards right there. Brings up third down.
On this drive, the Hornets really going back to the ground game. See a couple offensive linemen pulling there. Not a huge gain, but again, that's their strength. Up front, they're running backs, pounding the rock, and trying to wear down the defense.
So where we've seen the kind of efficacy offensively on the ground for Hillside has been to the outside, which is the area of the field that might not be as chewed up, might be a little bit drier there. We'll see if they take it to the edges here. Third down, about 4. And whistle's blown. And a marker dropped on the far side. Sideline warning.
They get the get pack, coach. Getting the players back.
So one more violation would result in a penalty. That's just a warning. So it remains 3rd and 4 for Hillside. And a late sub in as Dallin Moore checks into the backfield, replacing Turner. Well, Jordan's come up big the last couple of possessions on 3rd down. Can they get another stop here? Little hesitation move and to about the 33-yard line. Dallin Moore, just enough. We'll move the chains.
Yeah, Patrick, one-on-one tackling situation. Moore did enough right there with the juke to the inside, going back towards the outside. And he got enough going against Jonathan Cradle there to continue this drive.
It's a big Blue Cross Blue Shield first down for Hillside. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. And very little there, maybe even a loss of a yard on that first down carry. And coming out there holding the football for Jordan is Josh Donald.
Another situation here, quarterback, center exchange. And that ball looked like their Harris just didn't quite get it initially, stepped back, and then the ball went on the ground.
Another poor exchange, almost cost there for Hillside. Playing with a little bit of fire, up by 8 points here, closing on the midway mark of this first half.
The Jordan defense, they've settled in, Patrick. They've really done a nice job after the first couple drives where there's been some big gains. they found a way to get more pressure to clog up the running lanes of the Hornets.
2nd and 10, and another penalty marker comes in, and this is going to go on to Hillside. And let's go right back downstairs to Aaron. Aaron?
The message on the sideline prior to the offense taking the field went directly to the offensive line. They said, we have time, but we have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot with these false starts. Obviously, the message is having a hard time being relayed right now.
It must be the wet air.
Yeah. It's getting caught in translation down there. I'll tell you what, in this ball game, Patrick, whichever team makes the least amount of mistakes, penalties, turnovers, whoever can fix the quarterback-center exchange is probably going to win this game because both teams playing sloppy right now.
Right, back at the 25, high snap, handoff right side. Dillon can't quite get to the edge, and then the Falcons now coming and gang up on him. You've seen better energy from the Jordan Falcon defense now that they've had a little bit of success these last couple of possessions.
Yeah, they've gotten confidence, and it feels like that first quarter, their head just wasn't in the ball game there, and again, the ball going to the outside. But look at run support right here, getting off their blocks. So important. Those defensive backs use their hands, and then the speed swarming over to the football.
When I think about these snaps is we've seen a lot of low snaps. We've seen high snaps right over the quarterback. That one was wide to the right. I mean, there's no rhyme and reason to where these snaps are going.
When all these offensive plays, they're predicated on timing. So if that ball is off just a little bit, slows down the running back or the quarterback from getting the play going, it can affect the whole ball play.
All right, line of reach is the 44-yard line. Another 3rd and long for the Hornets offense. Winding up Harris across the middle. Finds Faison around the 40-41, going to be a couple of yards short. And this will make for a curious decision here on 4th down for Ray Harrison. Will you punt it away, flip the field, or do you dare go for it on 4th and a couple the way that you've run the football?
I'll tell you, I think with the way your offensive line has played, you want to lean on them. And just as far as the ball handling going, you know, if this was a normal field conditions, I'd maybe punt it, but it looks like they are going to punt the ball here. But I'd be weary to be on special teams.
Well, the officials are gathering. They tower right over the spot of the football. They're clearly a couple of yards short of the marker here. But Gary Wiley has drawn his entire officiating team to him. And Hillside is now called back to the huddle. So it's an 8-0 lead for Hillside. And a reminder, during the 4th quarter of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Miller Mott College Play of the Game. Miller Mott, changing futures, changing lives. Kick off your new career with Miller Mott. Well, they will measure for some unknown reason. They're that close, Jay. Still 4th and 2, Jay.
So let's see. They're switching up. All right. Punters coming out on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if that asking for the measurement came from the Hillside sideline. I mean,
sure where exactly.
You could have the worst vision in the stadium and know that's not close to a 1st down. But I wonder if maybe Hillside asked for it to just bide some time and make a decision here. And
yeah, and you know, they were going to go. Oh.
And it's a fake. It's a fake up the middle, and they will get it. Maintaining balance down the left side. Dillon sprinting to the 20. Cuts it back, and he's finally brought down just outside the 10-yard line on a 4th and 2 fake punt to the senior Miles Dillon.
And they caught him by surprise. You know, they went out there and quickly snapped the ball. And that's what Jordan, not even down in their stance. They weren't even ready. And then Dillon just brought free right there. Great job getting to the outside, seeing where the lane was, and was wide open on the left side. But Jordan there, they weren't even set up. You can't be successful on a play if you're not set up. They weren't even down in their stance.
And back inside the Wake 86 at green zone. Help keep Wake County litter free at 86 your trash. So on a fake punt on 4th and 2 after the most curious of measurements. And now whistles are blown at the 6:03 mark of this first half. Timeout taken. Hillside 8, Jordan nothing. And we'll come back inside the green zone. 8-0 lead. Hillside looking for more off of that fake punt. Up on top of the Falcons by 8.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at HendrickChevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Proudly representing the community for years, Oxner Permar is now proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete of the Week for MyRDC's Friday Night Rivals. Every Friday night, Oxner Permar will shine a light on an exceptional scholar athlete who inspires us all to do the right thing, just as we strive to make wrongs right every day at Oxner Permar. Plus, at the end of the season, one of these All-Stars will receive a $5,000 scholarship provided by Oxner Permar. Oxner Permar, we make wrongs right.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Hillside 8, Jordan nothing midway through the first half. 6:03 remaining off of a fake punt. Miles Dillon on 4th and 2. The snap came to the up back and erased it all the way down to just about the 10-yard line. So the drive continues. Not quite 1st and goal, but it's 1st and 10 for the Hornets. They scored the game's only touchdown 2.5 minutes into this game, early first quarter. Damian Harris, quarterback. Fumbles the snap. It's loose. Falcons digging after it. And no signal. Jordan may have it. And
we have illegal procedure charged against Hillside.
A false start again prior to the snap. I didn't see a signal on who recovered the fumble, but again, the false start is going to end the play right there. Another big break for Hillside.
Sees this ball snapped if it gets into Harris's hands. Yeah, and the ball was there. He just kind of broke out too quick, and then it was just a wrestling match for the ball down there. But this game, with the field, it's just been sloppy so far. Both teams not able to get into any type of flow.
So now 1st and 15. Trying that left side, slithering inside the 10. They'll mark him down at about the 9-yard line for Davis. Well, I still want to go back to that fake punt. I'd be very curious to hear the story if Ray Harrison is asked after the game on A, how that measurement was asked for, B, why the measurement was granted, if indeed it was asked for by the Hillside sideline, and C, was it part of more of a master plan to get the right personnel in and catch the Falcons off balance? As this one goes up the middle, close to the goal line, and still on his feet and reaching over, and he never was down, and tumbling into the end zone is Antonio Davis. Looked like a human plank on top of bodies, knees not down, elbow is not down, and is riding like Dick Vitale in the Cameron Crazies.
Look at him move his feet here. He refuses to stop. 6 feet, 210 pounds, but look at the power. And then where's the Jordan defenders? They're just kind of flailing around, not bringing him to the down. And then Davis continued to fight there for the extra yards. It looked like he was going to go down a couple different times. But that was just great power and resiliency getting in the end zone.
And just body surfing into the end zone for the Auto Park Honda touchdown. Brought to you by Leith Auto Park Honda. Antonio Davis. A bruising run, and the extra point clangs off of the upright and crossbar at both, and it's no good.
Point after touchdown is no good.
But after the early touchdown scored by Turner and the 2-point conversion, it remains a 14-0 Hillside lead. As we take a look at the drive summary brought to you by Saltwater Seafood. Biggest play right there, 4th and 2, the fake punt. And Miles Dillon got that just about the 10-yard line, and then finally crushed in by Antonio Davis for the touchdown run.
A huge change of momentum with that special teams fake. The Jordan defense and Jordan overall on offense, they've started to really get into their groove. And that special teams play changed the field position, and it was Davis. Such a big kid, 6 feet, 210 pounds as a running back. He's got good speed, good ball security too, as those guys are hanging all over him. He held the ball in close with 2 hands, protected it, and then just dove just enough to get in the end zone.
14-0 lead for Hillside. A reminder during the 4th quarter of tonight's game, Jay and I will be selecting the Miller Mott College play of the game. Miller Mott, changing futures and changing lives. You can Kick off your new career with Miller Mott. So the fake punt leads to a touchdown. 14-point lead now for Hillside. Time for the Next Care kickoff. When you need urgent care, Next Care strives to ensure you and your family will experience the highest level of care. And the approach. And a line drive kick goes off of the fingertips of Craig Kroom, retrieved. And now in trouble. And through the middle, still on his feet. Spun down, as you can see, divots of turf flying off of the ground through the air. Choppy conditions, to say the least. A long field now for Jordan, trailing by 2 scores.
Yeah, and here at 5:15 left here in the second quarter, they've got to get a drive going. Missed field goal on their last drive, but they've got to get some points on the board. You know, as this game continues on and wears down, the field continues to wear down, it's going to be tough to score points. We've seen both offenses score points in hurries tonight, kind of just been slowed down, and again, the penalties, bad snaps, there hasn't been any flow for either offense.
Yeah, and for Jordan really getting down the field thanks to either penalties or the one long pass hookup with Ben Miller and James Jeanette. Miller on a delay. Hayes, nowhere to go. Solo tackle by Brian Harrison, number 3.
On Hillside, they're all flowing over their defense, running in packs. So that if there is a missed tackle, there's still 2 or 3 other guys there to close off the angles and bring the guys down.
There's a great story behind Andrew Hayes of Jordan, number 2. We'll get to that after this play. A pump fake. The ball slips out of the hands of Miller, and now he's forced to run it. Got to get to about the 20-yard line. Well, that time it wasn't the exchange. He was just trying to draw the football back on a hard pump fake, and it slipped out of his hand.
And that goes to Aaron's point, the moisture on the ball down there. Still some humidity in the air. Very slick, especially too when your uniform's covered in dirt, it's wet out there. You know, that gets on the ball. No matter how many times they rotate the balls in and out of the games and put fresh balls in there.
Well, this is 3rd down now. Time to throw. A little bit of pressure now. Dumps it out. Hayes the reception. Stiff arms one. He has room on this side of the field if he can get the corner, and he won't, and then gets punished. Mads of a yank.
And he shifted field. Right here, nice cut. Then the stiff arm there, and it looked like he was gonna have it, but then Madzivanika right here, he initially kind of got pushed away, but good hustle finishing off the play. Here in 4th down, this defense getting off the field again.
A really good pursuit. Jordan Johnson back to return the kick for Hillside. Up by 14, and they will have one more possession as we close in on 3 minutes left in the first half. High snap. And a patient punt off the side of the foot, lands right around the 40-yard line and goes into the sideline.
And the punt goes dead near the 40-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10 for
14-0 lead for Hillside, and field position inside the Jordan half of the field. A reminder coming up post-game, the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report is coming up on the way, brought to you by Hendrick Chevrolet. We'll have this week's Oxnard Permar Scholar athletes, participating school interviews with the principals, highlights from across the country, and a whole lot more. You can find new roads today at hendrickchevrolet.com. 14-0 Hillside, 3:06 left first half. And this drive begins the 42-yard line for Damian Harris. Key moment now for the Falcon defense. Clean snap, haven't said that often. It's lofted down the sideline, has a man, but it's dropped, flat out dropped by Dillon as he approached the goal line. Had the defender beaten by 4 yards. And look at that, he will punish himself with a couple of push-ups because of that missed touchdown reception.
Well, Dillon coming out of the backfield, we've seen him so good running the ball, and here, just a straight go route, wide open. You saw the speed. It was gonna be an over-the-shoulder catch, just not able to focus all the way in. Again, the arm strength of Harris, throwing the ball, beautiful pass. And sometimes when you're not able to connect, it's frustrating and a missed opportunity, but for the Hornets, I would go back to that same play here later in this ballgame.
Gary Wiley, the referee, blows the whistle. Penalty marker is down on the other side of the field. Well, if this penalty was going on Hillside, if I'm Miles Dillon, I want my push-ups back. My sense is, not being around Ray Harrison in the practices for the Hornets, but my sense is during practice, if you drop a football and drop a touchdown, he's probably asking to do push-ups, which is...
It's either push-ups or up and down. That's usually the normal punishment. Besides sprints, that's always one of them.
And they're going to wave off the flag, so push-ups were valid. The explanation to the Hillside sideline.
Well, I'll tell you what, the push-ups are easier than up-downs. Up-downs are worse, especially with pads on.
Second down.
2nd and 10. Turner immediately stuck in the backfield and brought down Josh Donald. He sniffed out that play.
This run defense settling in. Good pursuit. Donald shooting through. Getting off the double team. Now big 3rd down for this defense coming up here. It was great field position to start this drive for Hillside. If this Jordan defense can get off the field, give the ball back to their offense one more time, trying to score before half point, that would be huge.
2-0 gain plays, 3rd down now. Still 10 to go for Hillside. Clock on the move at 2:15. Pressure coming quickly, and they were going to swallow up Harris for a sack back outside the 50-yard line. Hakeem Brooks led the charge. Now Jordan still has 1 timeout left. He may consider taking it here.
A huge play by Brooks, but look, 3 defenders getting in the backfield. That pursuit so impressive. Now flipping the field position here. Again, with the field conditions here, this isn't a normal punting situation. They're going to get the ball potentially in a good spot here. There's still plenty of time remaining.
All right, it's 4th down. Is there another fake? A little stumble. This is Dillon improvising, and Dillon is brought down back outside the 50-yard line. It looked like kind of a punt fake option there for Dillon, but he stumbled a bit. The snap wasn't perfect. And you mentioned timing being erect on plays such as these.
Well, and Dillon, yeah, it looked like he was trying to throw the ball initially, but then he's got the speed to kind of make something out of nothing. But then the pursuit by the Jordan defense. Boy, and I'll tell you, this is the time in the game where they need to make something happen. Great field position going into the half. They can gain momentum, get back into this ball game, but they've got to do it here.
What's the adage? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They were fooled once in the fake, not the second time. And then 85 seconds on the clock plus 1 timeout. Ben Miller looks to wind it up. Senses some backside pressure and simply trying to get out of bounds if he can. The clock still rolling with about 1:10 to go. Gary Wiley saying, let's go, give me the football, we'll mark it. And give the Falcons an opportunity to get on the board.
Well, and the wide receivers for Jordan went so far down the field, they had to run back about 40 and 50 yards to get back here to the line of scrimmage. So this play is taking a lot of time just to get snapped.
About 20 seconds now, 23 have gone off since the play ended. Still sitting on that 1 timeout. Throws across the middle into traffic, and this one is picked. Picked off by Hillside. Gregory Carter takes it back across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And Hillside forces the first turnover of the game. Gregory Carter, the junior.
And Carter just playing center field right here, kind of baiting Miller into throwing this ball. Miller, you know, again, having to be aggressive here. Not a lot of time, getting drilled right at the last minute. And then Carter coming over from a safety position, just jumping right in front of the receiver for the interception.
You can see Ben Miller on that end zone shot. Got hit and kind of driven backwards just as he was released in the pass. Still trying to thread a needle right there with 3 defenders converging. And throws the interception. Harris. Hillside not done. Nice catch made by Dillon down the sideline. He sprung to the 10 and wrestled out of bounds inside the 10-yard line with the clock approaching 30 seconds. So Miles Dillon, who dropped the touchdown pass a couple of plays ago, breaks away from a tackle. Perfectly thrown ball by Harris. And in scoring territory for the third time tonight.
And he's the big play threat. Again, coming back to the ball, so important, helping out your quarterback. Then yards after the catch, so explosive here in scoring position to get a touchdown right before the half. Still, all 3 timeouts, huge here for the Hornets.
Back inside the Wake 86 in green zone. Are the Hornets up by 14. Well, a lot has happened here in the last minute and a half. They went for a fake punt. It failed. Jordan got the football back on the positive side of the 50, did nothing, threw an interception. One play later, here are the Hornets at the 11-yard line with 27 seconds to go and 3 timeouts.
Been a lot of action here in the past 5 minutes.
I mean, you have every play in the playbook at your availability here for Ray Harrison. All 3 timeouts. They put the clock back up to 38 seconds. Here's Damian Harris. Just outside the 10-yard line, first down. Hand off Moore. Can't get the edge, but again, Hillside with 3 timeouts. They will take one here.
This defense for Jordan, we've talked about them really settling into things there, and they're getting some pursuit along that defensive line. We thought they'd maybe be tired after playing Monday night. They're starting to get their legs back into it, using their technique to get underneath the blocks up front, shedding it to get in the backfield.
Well, with a 2-score game versus a 3-score game, huge. Jordan will get the football to begin the second half. And again, if this gets to a 4th down situation, because Hillside has a couple of timeouts, we could get there before the end of this half. Is it a field goal situation, or is it a go on 4th? And if you fail, it still is that 2-score game. Still a couple plays out, but some of the maneuvers that the coaches are thinking about.
Well, and thinking about that possible situation, I'll tell you, with the field the way it is, I would go for it, just because the risk involved as far as your footing and the snap, the hold, and the kick, very risky right now. The way Hillside has had success on the ground, I would try to punch it in.
And remember, they did try the extra point after their 2nd touchdown, and it barely got off the ground. 2nd down now, 30.5 seconds left. Clock will start on the snap. 14-0 Hillside. Load up the right side of the line. And another flag comes in. Evidently lined up in the neutral zone. So Hillside self-inflicted wound.
If I'm Jordan right here, I'm loading the box. I'm doing whatever I can to sell out to stop the run. If I'm going to get beat, I'm going to force Harris to throw the ball.
They're facing the only receiver in the pattern. Play fake. They're looking for him across the middle now into the end zone. And it's DeAndre Brown making the reception. Touchdown, Hillside. With 25 seconds left, DeAndre Brown off the great play fake came across the middle for his first touchdown of the year.
And Brown, this large frame, 6'6", he was able to hide coming across the field in tight end position. And then that run fake by Harris, good job hiding the ball as he rolled out and then just flipping it over the defense. Great play call, great design. Perfect timing there as the linebackers were sucked up to try to stop the run.
16-yard touchdown reception by Brown. And now the 2-point conversion, the back corner of the end zone, and that is caught again by Brown. So he accounts for all 8. And Hillside takes a 22-0 lead on Jordan. 16-yard hookup with Brown. That's the Leith Auto Park Honda touchdown as Hillside goes up by 3 full scores, 22-0.
Well, and they finished off that drive. A couple of mistakes back and forth there, not executing, but they're finally punching it into the end zone. I talked about their ground attack and Jordan finding a way to kind of slow it down. But it's perfect time for the play action pass. And again, Brown, 6'6". He's a mismatch out on the field. Nobody on the defensive side that can cover him as far as his radius goes. This was a huge drive. Started off through the air.
There's the all of 12 seconds for the drive. 4 plays, 54 yards. The Saltwater Seafood scoring summary to make it now 22-0. So we thought this first half might end with Jordan with an opportunity. After denying the fake punt with a chance to get maybe back within 1 possession. The interception thrown, Hillside not sitting on a 14-point lead, and they've tacked on 8 more. So it's 22-0 Hillside. And the Next Care kickoff for the Hornets. Brought to you by Next Care, and when you need urgent care, Next Care strives to ensure that you and your family will experience the highest level of care. And this will be played on a couple of hops. Kroom. And then swarm down around the 16-yard line. Kroom may be claiming that he shouldn't have been hit, but he was. Kroom has been very emotional here late in this first half for the Falcons.
See here when he gets hit. Again, hard to pick up the ball. Yeah, and he's right. I mean, his knee was down on the ground. You know, it's hard for a defender to slow down, but when you see somebody's knee down, you've got to stay off, and especially you can't go towards the body with that intensity and speed.
Yeah, there is a penalty marker down, and it's unsportsmanlike going against Jordan. So maybe too much complaining about that call, perhaps. And Kroom certainly has a case right there. He'd kind of turned his body a little bit, couldn't handle the 3-hop kick that was coming his way, but the official was only a couple of yards away, and both knees were on the ground when he finally got 2 hands on it. And then the hit came about a half second to a second later.
I think he's right. I mean, he's definitely right, but at that point, you can kind of plead your case, but you got to stop him. And the officials there, there's a certain point where you can talk to them, but you can't continue the conversation.
And there's some teaching moments on the sideline for the Falcons. 22-0 is the deficit facing Jordan. 23 seconds left in this first half. Ben Miller, this explosive offense, but defense has been costing the Falcons this year, giving up almost 40 points a game. But rarely have they been at a spot like this where they're shut out with Ben Miller at the controls of this offense. Now the clock is winding down. And Ben Miller is simply walking almost over to his sideline. Now the clock stops. And now the officials will wind the clock. And Jordan will regroup at halftime. It's 22-0 Hillside. An emphatic start to the half. Jordan had a couple of chances to get back in it, made some mistakes down the stretch, and Hillside capitalized. So the Hornets have a 22-0 lead on Jordan as they look for their 11th consecutive win on the Jordan Falcons. And again, if you missed it at the open, each of the last 10, Hillside has won by 20 points or more. So they've been in this position before, but it hasn't been a blowout here in the first half. A couple of late scores here for Hillside to open things up.
Jordan, they had their opportunity, especially when it was 14-0 with the ball at midfield with about a minute and a half left. But going into the half here, both teams are going to have to talk about their quarterback center exchange and then also the field conditions and turnovers, because with the ball being on the ground as wet as it is, turnovers is going to be a big key here in the second half.
All right, in a moment we'll have Aaron Summers with the head coach of Hillside. Ray Harrison is joined up with Aaron. Aaron?
Coach, first 2 scores came on the ground, last one there through the air. Are you satisfied with how your offense has played so far?
Yes, it's a sloppy game. Field conditions are bad just because we had so much rain lately. But we just had to run the ball. We can throw it here and there, but you just got to really pound the ball tonight.
Offensive line has done well with the blocking, but how are you going to clean things up in the second?
I think we did miss a lot of assignments because Jordan got in our backfield a couple times. They put 6, 7 guys in the box, so that's going to hurt us a little bit. But we just got to spread them out and find the holes where we can find the holes.
Thanks. Patrick?
All right, thanks a lot, Aaron. So Ray Harrison heads to the locker room with a 22-0 lead on Jordan. On their way, they hope, to an 11th straight win over the Falcons. Friday Night Rivals, presented by My Computer Career, continues from the Bull City. It's halftime. Hillside up by 22.
Sportsmanship. It means a lot of things.
It means showing respect for the opposing team
And being a good host for our visitors.
It's about modeling good behavior and not getting caught up in the emotion of the moment.
It's about winning with humility.
Losing with dignity.
It is about making my high school games.
It's a good memory that I can enjoy for years to come.
Mr. Official.
Mom.
Dad. Son.
Daughter.
Coach. Are we in this together?
Sportsmanship. Together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
The Hyundai Tucson is the highest-ranked small SUV in both initial and long-term quality. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Lease a Tucson for $159 a month or buy with $2,500 in bonus cash. Now get $750 disaster relief cash for those affected by Hurricane Florence.
To Badcock Home Furniture and More for fall savings store-wide. Like this sofa sectional for just $6.98, or this dining room for just $3.48. Plus, get a king mattress set for the price of a queen. With no credit refused, Badcock makes it easy. Save store-wide at Badcock Home Furniture and More.
Is this the world's best sandwich? Nope. Lance's real peanut butter between two toasted crackers is the best. Pick up some tasty sandwich crackers from Lance.
The Hyundai Elantra and Sonata. Technology never looked so good. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Now choose between a 2018 Elantra or Sonata, each only $149 a month. Now get $750 disaster relief cash for those affected by Hurricane Florence.
You're watching the Hendrick Chevrolet Halftime Report. Well, it's time for the Oxnard and Permar Scholar Athlete of the Week. Tonight, from Jordan High School, the Oxnard and Permar Scholar Athlete is Ben Miller. Quarterback Ben Miller of Jordan High School carries a 4.42 GPA and is captain of the football, baseball, and basketball teams. Ben is the reigning Conference Offensive Player of the Year in football and is the reigning State Player of the Year in baseball. Ben is on the National Honor Society, participates in the Buddy basketball program, and volunteers at homeless shelters. Ben has committed to playing baseball at the University of Pennsylvania. Tonight from Hillside High School, the Oxnard and Permar Scholar Athlete is David Mazavanika. David Mazavanika of Hillside High School is a defensive end and carries a 4.52 GPA. He is a football all-county performer. David is on the National Honor Society and is a member of the Student Council. He serves the community as president of Chi Omega Lambda. David has committed to playing football at Harvard. Ben, David, and other nominated All-Stars are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Oxnard and Permar, making wrongs right. Stay tuned. There's more from the Hendrick Chevrolet Halftime Report coming up next.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our tech-filled family of trucks and SUVs, including Titan, Frontier, and Armada. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $14,657 on a 2018 Titan, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, truck month ends soon.
Having moderate to severe plaque psoriasis is not always easy. It's a long-distance run, and you have the determination to keep going. Humira has a proven track record of being prescribed for over 10 years. It's the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists. More than 250,000 patients have chosen Humira to fight their psoriasis, and they're not backing down. For most patients, clearer skin is the proof.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Join over 250,000 people who have chosen Humira. Ask your dermatologist about Humira and go.
Mike here from Leith Auto Park Honda in Cary, and we've got clearance pricing for a limited time on award-winning Accord, Civic, and CR-V models. We don't play any games or gimmicks because we don't have to. Our amazing staff and tremendous selection keeps our customers happy, and our Leith Peace of Mind pricing keeps them coming back. You'll also get Auto Park for life. That's oil changes, loaner cars, and more, all at no cost to you. So hurry in to Leith Auto Park Honda for clearance pricing before time runs out. It's easier here.
Welcome back to Russell Blunt Stadium, where the Hillside a 22-0 lead over Jordan. I'm joined by Hillside principal William Logan. What are you looking forward to with this 2018-2019 season?
As far as the football season, we're really excited about the team that we have assembled, and we're hopeful about their level of competitiveness as it relates to, going into the playoffs and taking it all the way to the state championship.
How beneficial is it to have somebody like Coach Harrison back on the staff?
It's extremely beneficial, to have someone who understands the importance, not just about, understanding the importance of the game, but also the importance of academics, the importance of character, and instilling those attributes in our players is powerful, and it really adds value to our learning community when it's all said and done.
Academically, what is Hillside focusing on this year?
We're really excited about this being our third year with our AVID program, which is a college readiness program designed to help those kids who are in the middle. This will be our first senior class to graduate through that program. We've done some really awesome work in terms of expanding our IB program school-wide, giving all students access to it, and certainly with our Business and Finance Academy, just bolstering the work that we're doing there to ready students for those opportunities at the collegiate level and life beyond high school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more from the Hendrick Chevrolet halftime report after this.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Get $3,500 total cash on a 2019 Sorento V6 when financed through Kia Motors Finance.
Jack! Hey, Jack! Quick question for you. No, mate, there's no actual beans in the beanstalk. It's just a name. It's not that. It's that. Doesn't the giant normally say fee, fi, fo, fum? Oh, right. I guess he decided to
get rid of fees. Unlike cable providers, with AT&T Internet, the price you see is the price you pay. $40 a month. No extra monthly fees, no surprises. The end. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
Proudly representing the community for years, Oxner Permar is now proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete of the Week for MyRDC's Friday Night Rivals. Every Friday night, Oxner Permar will shine a light on an exceptional scholar athlete who inspires us all to do the right thing, just as we strive to make wrongs right every day at Oxner Permar. Plus, at the end of the season, one of these All-Stars will receive a $5,000 scholarship provided by Oxner Permar. Oxner Permar, we make wrongs right.
Plastic bottles in North Carolina are creating jobs in our communities. They are separated, sorted, and packaged by your neighbors. Bottles are ground into small pieces called flake by your friends. The flake is cleaned and melted into pellets, then transformed into socks, your favorite shirt, the carpeting in your car, as well as other bottles. When you recycle plastic bottles here in the Carolinas, you're providing employment for an estimated 3,500 people. When you recycle your plastic bottles, you're making a positive impact on your community. Your bottle means jobs.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Get 0% APR for 60 months plus $500 SUV bonus cash on the 2019 Sorento.
Halftime score in Durham. Hillside leading Jordan 22-0. A reminder, fans, each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, my RDC will be showcasing outstanding Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from across the country. So here are some of those great highlights from last week's action.
Can't get a first down about the 2-yard line. Reynolds rolls right, throws to the back of the end zone. Jump ball is caught!
Underneath David Martin. Ball taken away by the defensive lineman. They went with the handoff. And Shovable gets a defensive play of their own. Gary Smith III rumbles into the end zone.
Sacks, not for losses, and this spectacular one-handed interception that he returned to the house. Just the big man rumbling down the sideline to score.
Broke 2 tackles on the way to the end zone.
2nd and 11. Sweetland looks left. Running, still looking, throws in near the end zone, and complete, and touchdown.
3 wides, low snap. Boyd has time, running out of it though. And he's running out of this, and he's going to be going down the sidelines, makes a nice cutback, and he's got space. What a run by Boyd. He's going to score. No flags. Touchdown, Bernie.
Fantastic highlights from around the country. We thank you for that. It's 22-0 in favor of Hillside as we come back to Durham. Now let's get some of the highlights from our first half. Jay Sohnhalter. And very early in the game, it was Brandon Turner from almost 50 yards out for the first score.
Relying on their offensive line, and then here a jumbled up play. Somehow they're able to get in. Miles Dillon with a 2-point conversion going to the left, then finishing it off right on the end zone line, showing off his power.
Hey, he had an interesting half, dropped the touchdown pass later, and then a tone. And now the biggest play offensively for Jordan in the first half. They'll hook up with James Jeanette down the sideline. But then on 4th down, just outside the green zone, the field goal attempt was hooked. That was the best scoring chance that Jordan had the first half.
Yeah, they missed that opportunity. I think defensive-wise, they're doing a nice job getting off the field, but 4th down, the special teams, big play by Hillside. Again, it was Dillon with the fake and then going in for the touchdown. Antonio Davis, just so powerful. He was really relying on his legs, getting through there with the resiliency, finding his way into the end zone. And that was a big touchdown drive.
So Hillside up 22-0. This was very late in the first half. Ben Miller, who's known for his accuracy, got hit as he made that pass. It was intercepted, and Hillside didn't simply sit on the football. They went for the jugular late in the second quarter.
And that's where the momentum changed, because Jordan had an opportunity, and then it was Dillon. We saw him on the ground, but here playing wide receiver outside. Great catch, explosive play. And that set up the score right here by DeAndre Brown. The naked pass right here to the corner of the end zone, and 6'6", nobody can cover him with his frame. And they finished it off there with the momentum going into the break.
All right, 2 touchdowns inside the last 5.5 minutes of the first half. So you see the passing number is about even. That's not good news for Jordan, because they averaged through the air about 240. You see 3 turnovers, all of those penalties, 13 of them, including 10 on Hillside. It's been a sloppy game, lots of penalties, numerous bad snaps, especially early in the game throughout the balance of the first quarter. That part's been cleaned up a bit, but Jordan will get the football to begin the second half, trailing at 22-0. So can their record-setting senior quarterback Ben Miller draw them back? They're trying to avoid an 11th straight loss to Hillside. They're down by 22 at the break.
Growing up, I was kind of reserved and quiet, and then when I got on the soccer field, I sort of just left all that behind me. You know, my friends and I, we would laugh and scream and just like have so much fun. And so as I started playing soccer and getting more into it, at school I realized it was easier for me to make friends and connect just because that camaraderie I had on the soccer team, I felt like I could do that in real life. Like, why not?
The 1905 custom suit from Joseph A. Bank lets you design your look. Select from over 40 premium fabric swatches, plus choose your own personal touches, starting at just $3.99. From selection to stitch to store, that's the Bank way.
Saltwater Seafood has the freshest seafood in town and the best customer service.
Saltwater has the freshest seafood in town and the best staff.
Saltwater gets their fish fresh every morning.
Hey, Dante.
Check out the catch of the day at saltwaterseafoodnc.com and join our mailing list for weekly specials. Our fresh fish come daily from the North Carolina coast, and we're open every day but Monday.
And don't forget to visit our Fry Shack Tuesday through Saturday.
Rich's parents know he's out tonight because he drove his Hyundai with Blue Link technology that texts his parents whenever he drives farther, faster, or later than he should. His parents got the message. Now, so will he. The Hyundai Elantra and Sonata. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Now, choose between the 2018 Elantra or Sonata, each only $149 a month. Now get $750 disaster relief cash for those affected by Hurricane Florence.
The 1905 custom suit from Joseph A. Bank lets you design your look. Select from over 40 premium fabric swatches, plus choose your own personal touches, starting at just $3.99. From selection to stitch to store, that's the Bank.
Halftime with Hillside leading Jordan 22-0. Aaron Summers is with the head coach of the Jordan Falcons, Anthony Barber. Aaron?
Coach Barber, took a little while to get things started, but after the second quarter, things are moving pretty well. How are you going to be able to get into the end zone here in the second half?
First, we got to come out and get a start with the defense, and I'm confident we're going to get some points this half and make this a football game.
What are you going to be able to do on the offensive side of the ball in order to get those points?
We're going to put it up. We're going to throw the ball down the field some. They're playing good coverage, but we got to throw the ball down the field.
Thanks. Patrick?
All right, thanks, Anthony. Thank you, Aaron. Well, he's spot on. That's how they score, through the arm of Ben Miller. Hasn't been getting the optimal protection so far tonight. How does that change?
Yeah.
Because he's already employed one back and two backs in the backfield trying to help out Miller.
Well, really the only way is you've got to get the ball out before the pass rush gets to him, which means short, quick passes. I think they've got to find a way to target James Jeanette, number 14. We saw one big explosive play from him on the outside. With these field conditions, you just got to get the ball into your wide receiver's hands. Hope that they can make someone miss. And then if they do, it could be a house call to the end zone because these wide receivers are explosive. They're fast, and the field, these guys are slipping and flying all over the place.
One of their top receivers, we mentioned at the outset, there are three key players on this Falcon team not playing tonight. One of them is Joaquin Davis, a junior wide receiver who's one of their top outside receiving threats. He's out tonight, and we're not outside of Jeanette being targeted a handful of times. Haven't seen much going Adams' way. Haven't seen much going to Hayes out of the backfield. So Miller needs some other options, but he also needs time from his offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line, I mean, the other thing is just the snaps. I mean, they've got to get the ball, and it's not only handling it, but getting it right on his chest, because sometimes he's having to go to the left or the right, and it messes up the timing.
So the 22-0 lead in favor of Hillside. So we thank each of these head coaches under some less than ideal conditions here tonight to spend some time with Aaron Summers going into and coming out of halftime, especially Anthony Barber, who's in his third year as head coach for the Falcons, but he's been a winner everywhere he's gone. Head coach at Southern Durham, Middle Creek, started that program there. Smithfield Selma. Won a state title as a Garner Trojan back in the late 80s and played at NC State. Editor Dick Sheridan, the NC State coach at the time. So we're ready to begin the second half. Eigenrock with the approach, and the second half is underway. And this ball is picked up completely dead around the 13-yard line and returned to about the 30. So that's where this drive will begin for Hillside. Again, leading by 3 scores, 22-0. Scored on their first possession of the game on that long run by Brandon Turner, but then the Falcon defense got some stops. Turned them over on downs, one on a fake punt, And then a couple late scores in that second quarter opened things up now to a fairly uncomfortable margin for the Falcons.
Coach Harrison talked before the game, Patrick, about starting fast, but I think it's going to be important here. They've got the big lead. If they can start fast here, put even more pressure on Jordan, that's going to bode well.
Damian Harris back under center. An immediate faulty snap. Ball came loose. Did the Falcons recover? They did. And there is the turnover that Jordan desperately needed. Isaiah Hargett recovers another muff snap. So here we are, 12 seconds into the third quarter, and a critical turnover on another bad exchange.
And that's something both coaching staffs focused on at the half. First play, not able to get the snap to Harris and him to hold on to it. Then now, great field position. I mean, that's the play Jordan needed. They needed a break to go their way, but now they've got to capitalize on offense.
Right, so here we go, Miller after the turnover, and simply tosses it out of bounds past the sideline. Pressure by a couple of different defenders. Well, you see all the mud on the back of these white jerseys. Aaron Summers is in the midst of it down on that sideline. Let's go to Aaron for more on the field conditions tonight, Aaron.
During halftime, when I went to go track down Coach Barber, I told him I was very afraid that I was going to slip and end up like his players in those white uniforms. It is a lot worse out there. It's very slippery. There is a layer of moisture on the field that is adding to the issue with a slippery ball.
Now this is second down. Low snap. Miller throws to the end zone, but then tangled at the 15-yard line looking for Jeanette. And no penalty marker came in. Accidental contact with Antonio Beatty. So no flag. Third down and 10 for Jordan in really a must-score touchdown drive after the fumble.
Well, Jeanette, he's your best wide receiver, and we'll see up here the protection. There's Hornets defenders coming. But Jeanette, he's got knocked down there. I would go back to him. I would try to get the ball in his hands as much as possible here. He's got a one-on-one matchup on the outside, the safety in the middle of the field.
Miller giving up some ground. Time to throw across the middle. There is Jeanette making the catch, the 15. Still on his feet toward the goal line. And Jeanette is brought down just short of the goal line. On a 3rd and 10, Ben Miller with a lot of time thanks to his offensive line.
And the protection up front was outstanding, and that enabled him to kind of move around in the pocket, but he kept his eyes downfield. And Jeanette running the post. It looked like he just threw his gloves off at the end of that. Those gloves get slippery. Looks like he's going to his bare hands, but a big play by the wide receiver.
Now into the Wake 86 at green zone. 1st and goal. Handoff out toward the goal line. Driving forward and in. Andrew Hayes takes it in. And Jordan finally on the board.
This is the response they needed. Coach Barber told Aaron, hey, I'm confident we're going to score some points here in the second half. He was right. And quickly here, a nice run up the middle, the response that their team needed. And now you can see them gain a little bit of confidence here as they go for 2.
The 5th touchdown of the year for Andrew Hayes. And now Ben Miller, the quarterback, stays out there. The place kicker is also out there as well. Eigenrock, number 33. And again, they trail by 16, so this extra point is critical here. High snap, Miller gets it down. This one slides just inside the left upright, and it's 22-7. So off of the turnover, the 3rd down conversion from Miller to Jeanette, and Andrew Hayes runs it in from a couple of yards out. And that's the start that Jordan needed in this 3rd quarter.
And it's the momentum they needed, the confidence they needed, but also too in the second quarter, they were playing pretty good on defense. They just gave up a couple of those scoring drives because of special teams errors and also a big play. But for the most part, they really settled down, played good run defense. But this offense, boy, they really opened things up with Jeanette on the post route, and then they were able to finish it off here on the ground.
Yeah, well, you're right. As we take a look at the Saltwater Seafood scoring summary, 32 seconds, covered 30 yards after the turnover. But you said they need to look to Jeanette more. Well, they did a couple of times in that drive, and then got it in the hands of Andrew Hayes, who's been their top back all year. So it's 22-7, just 44 seconds into the 3rd quarter. Ready for the next urgent care at kickoff. When you need urgent care, Next Care strives to ensure you and your family will experience the highest level of care. So 22-7. Ton of time for the Falcons. That's not the big play really to open the contest. And the fake punt and the one big play, the reception made by Miles Dillon late in that second quarter. The defense for the Falcons has played fairly well. You talk about 24 minutes the first half. They played well for probably 17, 18 of those minutes. We'll rely on them here. And slightly mistimed on the approach. Might have been the first high step. The place kicker for Jordan.
Well, Jordan only 3 penalties in the first half. Hillside 10. So we talked about just penalties and turnovers. That's what this game is going to come down to. Who can hold on to the football? Really, who can make the least amount of mistakes is who's going to win this game.
So they mark back the Falcons 5 yards. And Robert Eigenrock. We'll see if he cuts down on that high first hop on his approach. Perhaps. End over end, taking to the 20-yard line. Accelerating across the middle to the 30, 35, and angled out in a hard tackle near the Hillside sideline. And the penalty marker comes in, and this is going to go against Jordan. So a solid run back, and this is going to begin this drive here for Hillside on the other side of the 50.
Just you can't do that. I mean, you can't go to the sideline and tackle him while he's way out of bounds. A huge air, and that's a dangerous play there. The sideline's very close to the track. The dirt's right there flying in all the players.
And there's actually a second penalty marker back behind the play. Could be a block in the back as well. There certainly was that second flag thrown into the Hillside sideline on the late tackle out of bounds. Gary Wiley will need to resolve this one. And there's a block in the back on a Hillside. It's charged against Everett. And then we have the personal foul at the end of that play in the sideline. So Hillside will have it. They've had one offensive play. As we take a look at the run back, the block in the back is going to come right there from 42 in the middle of your screen. And hard, though, on slippery turf out there to slow things down. It wasn't egregious to me.
The thing is, like, you've got to make the effort, and it is tough because you want to bring the guy down, you want to make the football play, but once you get towards that sideline, that's kind of has to be like red flags, like this is a possible penalty area, and you got to let go. Kind of like how the NFL is now, where you tackle the quarterbacks, you sack them, you got to let go. It's kind of like that. You know, it's kind of similar to that. The new rule changes.
Dillon goes in motion for the first time tonight. This is Davis. And again, that defensive line doing a good job of reading. And a tackle made by Dylan Joshua, number 50. Beginning to get maybe a little bit frustrating for the backs of a Hillside. They had some good holes, some solid vision early in the first half, and it's been drowned out here the last couple of possessions.
It can be tough for you when you have success and then you're not finding the same success. Frustration can start to set in.
Game about 3. Second down run again to Davis, and then Pyle moves forward again. Anytime he touches the football, hard to bring him down high or low. Just continues to power forward. Picked up a couple of extra yards as a result of that second effort.
The defense for Jordan, 4-3 defense, 4 down linemen. Number 72, Greg Rigsby, we've seen him play center as well, playing both ways. So we'll see the depth, how tired these guys get as we go into the fourth quarter.
A couple of yards ago on third down, Damian Harris fumbles another snap. Falcons try to dig it out of there, and they do. Second fumbled snap of this third quarter, and recovered again by Isaiah Hargett. He recovered the one on the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter. Picks up another one here in the third quarter 2 minutes later.
He's got a nose for the ball. Johnny on the spot right here. Hargett will see him come up from his linebacker position, shoot the A gap, and he just dove. He saw it come out of Harris's hands. Great recognition, seeing the ball on the ground and being aggressive and going and getting there. He kind of got pushed a little bit by the official holding him up.
And the pendulum is swinging. Falcons are down 15 and have the football back on another turnover when we return.
Miller Mott understands motivation. Miller Mott understands goals. Our dental assisting program makes it easier for you to start doing what you love. Kick off your new career education today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
It's Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month. The best time to take home big savings on our tech-filled family of trucks and SUVs, including Titan, Frontier, and Armada. Get to Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month and take home big savings. Save up to $14,657 on a 2018 Titan, or get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models. Hurry, truck month ends soon.
Miller Mott understands support. Miller Mott understands success. Our veterinary technology program gives you the support and education you need to become a veterinary technician. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Raleigh.
Klein right back into this one. Early touchdown thanks to a turnover. They have forced another 22-7 Hillside. Let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers. Aaron?
Patrick, these are defensive end David Matsanika's cleats. Well, he had to switch them because they broke across the top. He said it's always good to make sure that you have two pairs of everything. So, yes, they are quite dirty, but they did also break. So he is wearing a different pair of cleats now for the second half.
All right, good to know. I brought a second pair of contact lenses just in case some mud got shot up into my face.
And I'm sure those shoes probably don't smell the best either down there.
Here is Miller, flushed forward and then brought down right around the line of scrimmage. It must be the new cleats that did the job to give David some room to sneak in.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, whenever you feel fresh and those cleats aren't waterlogged, definitely helps out with the footing. And Matsuaka right here coming in, getting off the block, shedding it, and then forcing him down with power.
So a loss of about 4. Second down for the Falcons. What a big possession this one is now for Jordan. And some motion. So you go backwards on the sack, and now a penalty on the Falcons on the left guard. And that's going to make it 2nd and 20.
And the offense is just not helping themselves out. I mean, there's going to be so many teaching moments they're going to see on film. It's really just errors they're creating. It's not so much even the defense. It's just they're putting themselves in terrible position with the penalties.
And back outside the 50-yard line now. A little delay handoff. Hayes spins away from one and can't get away from the second. Well, Andrew Hayes scored the touchdown earlier in this quarter here for Jordan. A really interesting story as far as a older relative of his is concerned. His great-grandfather, George Taliaferro, who's now 91 years of age, was the first ever African-American quarterback in the NFL. Played college ball at Indiana, and then taken by the Los Angeles Dons, which was a charter member of the All-America Football Conference, then went to the NFL several years later, played for several teams, 3 Pro Bowls. As Miller dodging some traffic, gets a block, spins away somehow again. And now he'll heave it down the left side. Has a man wide open, and the reception is made to the 10-yard line. And Craig Kroom hauls it in. Touchdown, Jordan. On an absolute improvisational heave by Ben Miller. Could have been sacked 2 or 3 times. Bought time, kept his balance, dodging defenders left and right. And the long strike by Miller to Kroom draws the Falcons right into this one.
Well, he kept his eyes upfield, and then Kroom coming down with that bomb that he threw, able to focus on it. That wet ball going in for the huge touchdown, but the offensive lineman kept fighting, kept the play alive for Miller, and then he just kind of weaved his way around. But again, that defensive line, they were pursuing him hard. The offensive lineman held Miller up for him to throw the deep pass down the field.
Extra point driven through. Well, that's a Leaf Auto Park Honda touchdown for the Falcons, and that's definitely making the banquet high right real. 22-14. Hillside up by 8.
And Miller here, we'll see it. It started off with the fumble recovery. Hargett again 2 times already. And then Miller here staying very patient in the pocket. Davis tried to bring him down. Madzivanika tried to, nobody could for the Hornets, and then he heaved it deep. And then Kroom brought it in for the TD.
51-yard heave from Miller to Kroom, and that is going to be a possibility for the Miller-Mott game-changing play of the game. We'll get to that in the fourth quarter of tonight's game. Miller-Mott, changing futures, changing lives. Kick off your new career with Miller-Mott. Well, we've seen a couple of routine giveaways by Hillside. Jordan has now capitalized both times. And they're within 8. This is why we saw them go for the extra points. They knew they needed a 2-point conversion at some stage. They wanted to wait until if they got back to within 8 points, where now if they do score again, they will try to draw even in this one. Next Care kickoff brought to you by Next Care, which strives to ensure that you and your family will experience the highest level of care. 22-14. This has all happened in 4 minutes of game time here in the third quarter. You thought the first half was long.
It's a lot of stoppages here in the second half.
Well, this now is getting very intriguing. And a pretty good return here by Hillside out to about the 45-yard line. Well, they brought down by the Jordan Falcons. So the field position is once again there for Hillside. Again, outside of the first drive of the game and the big scoring run by Brandon Turner. Not a lot happened for the offense for Hillside up until late stages, second quarter. And they've sputtered here badly the first 2 possessions of quarter number 3.
At the start of this quarter, we talked about them getting out to a fast start here. The start of this game and also the second quarter really put the pressure on Jordan, and they have slopped around. They haven't, and now they find themselves in a 1-possession game.
Right back to the ground game. This is where they had their success in the first half, and Donald Moore running between the tackles for big yardage. Moore will take that one for about 23 yards.
And over on the sideline, if I'm Coach Harrison, I'm putting the pressure on my offensive line to really take over this game. The strength of your team. You see there, those O-linemen fighting downfield, getting movement, pushing their men upfield. And really this ground hill attack gets so much better as those running backs get into the flow of this ball game.
Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. Miles Dillon, he's been a game changer for Hillside. Bottom of your screen, number 4. And they go right back to Moore. Off left tackle for about 7. Hillside knocked out in the first round of the playoffs last year by Eastern Guilford. Finished the year inside the league at 4-2, overall at 5-6. Shoelace issue for Jordan's Jonathan Cradle. Is it that or is it a cramp? He's sitting down. Looked like the shoelace is run done, but the receiving gloves maybe didn't allow him to tie him up, or perhaps something else.
It's hard to tie a shoe when you've got gloves on, but it does look like it's a possible cramp here.
Ray Harrison working on his team on the sideline. This is getting tight now. 22-14 Hillside. 7:02 left, third quarter when we return.
Mike here from Leith Auto Park Honda and Cary, and we've got clearance pricing for a limited time on award-winning Accord, Civic, and CRV models. We don't play any games or gimmicks because we don't have to. Our amazing staff and tremendous selection keeps our customers happy, and our Leith Peace of Mind pricing keeps them coming back. You'll also get Auto Park for life. That's oil changes, loaner cars, and more, all at no cost to you. So hurry in to Leith Auto Park Honda for clearance pricing before time runs out. It's easier here.
Proudly representing the community for years, Oxner Permar is now proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete of the Week for MyRDC's Friday Night Rivals. Every Friday night, Oxner Permar will shine a light on an exceptional scholar athlete who inspires us all to do the right thing, just as we strive to make wrongs right every day at Oxner Permar. Plus, at the end of the season, one of these All-Stars will receive a $5,000 scholarship provided by Oxner Permar. Oxner Permar, we make wrongs right.
22-14, Hillside on top of Jordan. But boy, this game has gotten very curious here the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. A couple of Hillside fumbles, both on exchanges, has now led to a couple of touchdowns for the Jordan Falcons. And Anthony Barber's mood a little bit brighter now. And his defense looking for a hold. This is a 2nd and 4 moment for the Hornets. The Falcon 29-yard line. Exchange is clean. This is Turner, who had the big touchdown run to open up the game. Finds some room down the sideline and is written down from behind inside the 10. Touchdown saving tackle by Samari Brooks.
And Turner, he's got that extra gear, and they need to get him to the outside. I would continue to run this play around the end and leading it up there. Good job clearing out the path. Antonio Davis, the other running back, those two running backs working in tandem, but he's got the speed that not a lot of other guys out in the field have, and he turned on the Jets there. Great field position here as they get in close to the end zone.
Hornets back inside the Wake 86 at green zone. Hand off Moore, sheds one, and then cannot rid the big waiting arms of Christian Smith, number 62. 2nd and goal.
These running backs for Hillside, they play the fullback and running back position. See Davis leading the way again, but look at the pursuit of Jordan. Jeanette also coming in and playing defense. A lot of these guys playing both ways.
2nd and goal from the 5. One wide receiver, another botched exchange. And the ball recovered though by Damian Harris. So 3rd time in this third quarter at various portions of the field. Hillside hangs on to possession though.
When the ball looked like it was there, Harris just stepped out, and as a quarterback, the first key is you've got to watch the ball all the way in. Make sure you secure, even if it means it's slower getting back on your drop. You've got to make sure you have possession of the ball first before you make any moves.
Lost a yard, 3rd and goal. Exchange is clean this time. Here's Moore trying the right side and spun back at around the 2, maybe the 3-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th down as Brooks gets another big stick. Now what will Hillside elect to do? You're up by 8. It's essentially an extra point try. A field goal makes it a 2-possession game. You've had some bad exchanges from center to the quarterback, especially here in this second half. What do? They're going for it. 4th and goal. I formation. Dillon split out. The hand of the outback. Trying to step through is Davis. He won't get there. And the Falcons have snuffed out the Hillside Hornets one more time. It's a completely different team than what we saw in the first quarter.
This defense, they're playing fast and physical right now. They just shot through the A-gap there, loaded the box up. A little bit surprised Hillside didn't try to use the play-action pass with Davis, who's playing tight end right there. But again, Target, we've seen him all over the field. 2 fumble recoveries on the A-gap blitz. Look at number 43, one-on-one right there. Nowhere to go for Davis. He tried to fight off of it, but then the rest of the Jordan defenders came in to help out. How about the second half of Target?
And on 4th and goal, how did he get through almost untouched?
Yeah.
Major missed assignment. Long way to go, but a possession to tie the game here for the Falcons. And a conservative play call on first down. Andrew Hayes for a couple of yards. He's trying to give Ben Miller a little bit more breathing room. There's a look at Hayes.
Second down.
And remember, this Jordan team has not beaten Hillside in the last 10 encounters, and none has been close. This one is 4:15 to play third quarter. It's an 8-point game. Another conservative call for a couple of yards to the left. They'll bring up third down and mid-range. Need to reach about the 13-yard line here.
In a passing situation, I'd try to find big number 14, Jeanette. He's your go-to guy.
So Hayes will join Miller in the backfield. There's a look at Jeanette. Kroom is the right slot. And Miller, play fake, looks to pass. Now he's beyond the line of scrimmage and goes out of bounds. Nominal yardage there, and they'll bring up fourth down. And it's an absolute punt situation now for the Falcons.
And Chris Rogers, the strong safety, great coverage on Jeanette. Miller was looking for him as he rolled out towards his left. He tried to throw, but he knew he was going to be thrown across his body into coverage there. Played it safe going out of bounds.
Right, it's a spot in the field where you just simply can't make a mistake. So tucking it in, running to the sideline, you're trusting your defense now. They played very well over the last quarter and a half. And we saw this earlier in the game with the Hornets. They have no single safety back. This is their punt block team. And the punter for the Falcons, Andrew Hayes, will be standing about midway back in his end zone. And we get a timeout taken by Hillside. 3:38 left third quarter. Hillside about to get the football back, up by 8, but boy, has this one gotten tight. 22-14 Hornets.
And both teams playing so hard. And really, though, here in the second half, it's come down to the errors of Hillside. And Jordan very easily there as they went into half. They didn't have any momentum, not a lot going their way, but they came out fighting and swinging hard. They started off with their defense. Coach Barber talked about confidence that the offense would score. Seems like they kind of opened up the playbook, even though they were a little more cautious on that last drive. They were backed up, but you can see that he's got faith in his defense now, especially in their run-stopping ability. They've been able to load the box, and Hargett's been outstanding stopping the run.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where the confidence lies right now for Hillside. It's certainly not special teams. I don't think it's defense, and offensively they've been sputtering here lately. So great credit to Anthony Barber to keep his team focused on coming back in this game. He spoke with great confidence coming out of halftime. Figuring out, he said, we will score points. He may not have been sure exactly how. I don't think he thought it would come off a couple of fumbles, but certainly some sloppy play in that first half. And 2 fumbles have been critical to the rally for Jordan.
No return man for Hillside here. All 11 men up at the line.
And Hayes just does get it away. And this ball's going to land inside the 30 and take a Hillside bounce forward and immediately down. This will be stopping around the 26-yard line. So exceptional field position. And nice job meanwhile by Hayes to kind of dig it out of there. And not the best punting technique, but he got it away.
I'll tell you what, though it's tough when the ball's on the ground, but Monty Vinakia there went in, almost got the block, but good job of him jumping to the side of the punter and not getting a penalty there. Good technique getting out of the way, even though he didn't get the ball.
All right, so Damian Harris with an 8-point lead as this drive starts at the 26-yard line. Hillside needs points out of this drive because 22 is not going to be enough to win this one. Couple of receivers split left and right. Moore trying to forge his way through the middle. And again, little yardage there in between the tackles against this defensive line of the Falcons.
And the D-line a little bit undersized compared to Hillside's O-line. When you're undersized, you got to get off the ball quickly. You got to read the snap count. That first step quickness so important to get penetration, but then also you got to get leverage and stay low, and they're doing it so far.
Maybe 2 yards. Play action. Harris. Soft toss. It's swatted out of the air by the right hand of Jordan's Marcus Green. if he controls that in the palm of that right hand and maintains his balance, it's probably a tie game.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones where you have it, but then you don't, and you wish you could have it back after this. Look at that. And I'll tell you what, if the ball wasn't as slippery, with those gloves they have these days, as sticky as they are, that could have been a catch, but great job jumping up, elevating to knock the ball down.
A key PBU for Marcus Green. 3rd down and long. Ball inside the 25-yard line. As Harris with a big play. He'll swing it out quickly, and it's broken up, but no penalty markers down around the 15, looking for Miles Dillon. And on the coverage, Emmanuel Jones. So the linebackers, the DBs have come up big for Jordan on this possession. And now another 4th down decision for Ray Harrison.
Well, this defense, they're jacked up right now. Look at the coverage on the outside. Plenty of time to throw for Harris. 2 defenders going over, getting that hand in, knock the ball away right at the last minute from Dillon.
Well, under these conditions, you're not kicking a 42-yard field goal. So you're going on 4th down and a long 8 out of the gun. Harris looking over the middle and through the hands of a Falcon defender. Never got through to Faison. And back on downs it comes to the Falcons. And was that Jeanette who got his fingertips on it?
And I'll tell you what, Jeanette with his hands so good, but on this case it's probably better that he didn't catch this, because that ball, you know, he probably would have got tackled about the 5 or 10 yard line. That was tipped it kind of ricocheted there. But now this ball is going to come out to about the 20, 25 yard line. Yeah, so it's about the 25, so probably better field position for Jordan.
So 2:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Jordan has the ball back. Remember, they just punted out of their own end zone. And that possession started at the 27. Miller's going to heave it down the sideline, underthrown and intercepted by Beatty. And it's returnable down the sideline and then tackled at the 33-yard line. Antonio Beatty, the big interception for Hillside. And there's the injection of energy that the Hornets have sorely lacked since the opening quarter.
It was just big play after big play.
And the Falcon, meanwhile, is down. Gary Wiley, our referee. Penalty marker on the field. And here's the call. It's a block in the back after the interception by Hillside, so possession will be maintained. And here's the patience, and then the long pass we've seen from Miller, and had no chance. Beatty read it. There's the block in the back right there by Tavis Rhodes.
Anytime you hold your hands up like that, that usually means you're guilty. Rhodes, a couple penalties, but some big plays. And Beatty, the senior, kind of coming off his man there, reading the eyes of Miller. Another big play for the Hornets defense.
So this drive, another one begins inside Falcon territory at the 45. The Falcon lost his helmet as the ball carrier Donald Moore takes it down to the 41. It's going to face Jaden Harewood off the field for one play.
But here, this offensive line creating a hole there, and then towards the left side, that's where it was. See this field, look at the field really chewed up. See it just from the camera angle, all the mud starting to develop.
Second down, Moore can't get to the outside, brought down by Hakeem Brooks. And now Brooks grabs the calf cramp for Hakeem Brooks. As we hope it's nothing worse than that, but it certainly wouldn't be surprised. Again, remember, Jordan played a game on Monday earlier this week. We were wondering about the stamina and how much energy they may have, and it looks like it will be. It's cramps, and credit to the Hillside athletic training staff for helping out a cramp on the opposition. You see that left leg just kind of stretched out, sliding on his knee, and boy, that's when that cramp can seize up.
So painful too. And He's played a lot of football here in the past 5 days, and Brooks going against Deontay Davis. They're battling up front on the lines.
Here's a look at Anthony Barber, head coach for Jordan. These two schools separated by only about 4.5 miles as you get kind of a close-up view at the muckiness of this field. We take a look at Keem Brooks.
It's going to feel good to take a shower after the game with these teams. Whoever's doing the laundry, though, that's a terrible job. I wouldn't want to be involved in that.
After these conditions, one shower may not be enough, Jay.
Yeah, you may have to stay in there for a little while.
But you're right, as we were walking on the field before the game, the real challenging areas were between the hashes. Now you look toward both sidelines. That was actually fairly firm as we were walking out there. Clearly not the case anymore. It's broken down. So here's Turner. Swings again to the right side. Turner to about the 39. And the whistle is blown again. Another helmet is lost by a Falcon.
And we've talked about these field conditions, but just kind of so everybody at home knows, like, we were walking down there, and I even kind of tried to jog a little bit, and I almost fell. I almost slipped. Now, I wasn't wearing cleats, but just imagine these players as the field gets worse and worse, even though they have cleats on, they're trying to run at full speed, but they don't have confidence that their feet are going to be stable. It's a tough feeling when you're out there playing at full speed.
So 4th down, 5 yards to go. And Womack ready to punt it away. Dillon, the upback, has been used a couple of times on fakes here today. Would they dare another? Split a couple of players wide, and they do. Dillon looking to throw, pressure coming. Jersey grabbed and spun back for a huge loss on 4th down. Dillon Joshua grabbed the shoulder area of Miles Dillon's jersey and just did not let go. Spun him like a top backwards for about a 15-yard loss.
This Jordan defense, so much credit to them. They've been the star of this second half. We'll see it here. Another spot-on play where they recognize where the ball is and just flinging them down, nowhere to go. And Hillside, whatever they had in that first half, boy, they've lost it. Jordan, another opportunity here with great field position on this drive.
Well, that's the 3rd attempted fake punt by Hillside. It worked once, but the bag of tricks has a hole at the bottom now.
It's not really, it's hard to do fakes when they're expecting it now. Like it's more common to do a fake than it is to actually punt the ball.
So this drive against the 44-yard line, quick slant, and Jeanette the grab takes it to the 31-yard line. Quick hitter for 13. That'll be a 1st down presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. Final minute, 3rd quarter, 22-14 Hillside. Let's go downstairs to Aaron.
While the defense was sitting on the sideline, defensive coordinator Coach Howell came charging down from the press box and was yelling at his defensive team. He said, in words that I can't say on TV, but he said that we're going to win this ball game if we stop doing stupid things.
You could say that on cable, right? After 11 p.m.
I wonder what they were.
9-yard pickup right there. So 2nd and short here for the Falcons. They trail by 8. Again, they trailed 22-0 at halftime. And 2 turnovers that led to a couple of touchdowns. And now there's a completion on 2nd and short. And still on his feet down to about the 10-yard line. Josiah Newell, who's a freshman and their backup quarterback. And one of the few Falcons out there with a clean white jersey.
Well, again, Miller, look at him just kind of scanning the field. He's been hit a lot. And the freshman coming down with it, continue to fight. Taking a couple of Hornets to bring him down.
Well, that's going to wrap up the 3rd quarter. And what a 12-minute segment it was for the Jordan Falcons. They have not beaten this Hillside team in the last 10 tries. They trailed by 22. They're inside the green zone, down by 8. 4th quarter action from the Bull City. Coming up, 22-14 to Hillside.
Get ready for this week's matchup. Jordan takes on Hillside. My RDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career. Watch each week as the area's best high schools take the field and battle for victory. Pride, determination, and the will to win. Experience it all live. The best matchups every week. My RDC Friday Night Rivals presented by My Computer Career.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Saltwater Seafood has the freshest seafood in town and the best customer service.
Saltwater has the freshest seafood in town and the best staff.
Saltwater gets their fish fresh every morning.
Hey, Dante. Check out the catch of the day at saltwaterseafoodnc.com and join our mailing list for weekly specials. Our fresh fish come daily from the North Carolina coast, and we're open every day but Monday.
I love their fresh fish right here at Saltwater.
Get up!
With a name trusted for 80 years, you have the compassion of the cross, the security of the shield, and the plan that's right for you, giving you the freedom to relish right now. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live fearless.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
Start of the fourth quarter, 22-14. Hillside lead cut to 8. They led by 22-0 at halftime. The Falcons have the football, knocking on the door of a potential tie. First play, is this into the end zone for the near tie? Stacked up Hayes right by the goal line. No signal. Falcons thought he was in. And no signal, so Hayes will be marked just a little bit short.
And Hayes, he's played a great second half here, and now Jordan going up tempo, trying to quick snap this ball.
And it's second and goal. Inside the 1. Miller keeps it to the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Jordan. Ben Miller on the sneak from a yard out, and the Falcons are a 2-point conversion away, Jay, from a tie.
And Ben Miller, this second half, I mean, really the whole game, but the second half production he's had has been amazing. You see on the quarterback sneak, both teams, you can tell how tired they are. The offensive defensive line kind of standing straight up. The sign of being fatigued, but Miller getting low enough, going off the left side of the line of scrimmage. Is doing enough to find his way across the end zone behind Hakeem Brooks.
Well, now you call your best 2-point conversion play here. Ball spotted to the 3. A conversion for the tie. Miller lofts it out. It's broken up. Broken up by Hillside's Brian Harrison. And you can see the cast on that left wrist. And the lead retained by Hillside, but barely, 22-20.
And that's a big play right there for Hillside, holding on to those 2 points that they could have lost. But for Jordan, you got to feel good with where you're at. Jeanette starting to get involved in the game plan, and then the senior quarterback, he's on fire right now, Patrick.
Now the Saltwater Seafood scoring summary, 5 plays, 44 yards. Remember that big sack on what was going to be another potential fake punt for Hillside. Leads to another touchdown for Jordan, 22-20. And the 1-yard touchdown keeper by Miller. Lee Thought Park Honda touchdown. It draws Jordan to within 2.
Look at how dirty he is. He's played so hard. I mean, he's continued to fight, and his team, they didn't give up. They're down 22 points at half.
They're showing great leadership skills, and you go back to earlier this week, because again, this is the second game that Jordan has played in 5 days. Well, they trailed 12-0 early in their game against Southern Lee. But 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Miller on a quarterback sneak tied the game, but then they were beaten on a field goal inside the final minute. Last 18-15. 22-20. Hillside by 2. Megan Rock, the senior, in to kick it away. NextCare kickoff brought to you by NextCare Urgent Care. Strives to ensure you and your family will experience the highest level of care. And the approach. And this one is onside. And it is returnable. Facing. Foul around the 33-yard line. There's the Facing. So he's trying to get his teammates going here, urging them as he stepped right in front of Dante Smith, who's been returning pretty well here in the second half. But now is where these two non-conference rivals here from Durham, now that Jordan has gotten Hillside's attention, Hillside may have thought that they were walking away to another win against a very fatigued team who played a game back on Monday. Boy, is that not the case. And now we're beginning to see the gamesmanship on both sides come up a little bit. Drive begins the 32. Harrison to Dillon. And a one-on-one tackle by C.J. Robinson. Boy, they are just keeping everything in front of them, not getting beat with the deep ball.
They're playing their safeties back, but their cornerbacks doing a nice job with their tackling. Let's see here, 2 defenders right there, but not letting them go. C.J. Robinson, I'm seeing him with a couple nice plays from his defensive back position.
3-4, and that one again off of the fingertips of Miles Dillon. I think he heard some footsteps coming. And now his possession has been, what, 13 seconds, and it's a key third down now for the team hanging on dearly to this lead.
And just look at the body language for Hillside. They don't look the way they did in the first half. They look confident, up-tempo, and they're just kind of going at a slow pace. Things aren't going their way, and it started in the second half with the inability to get the snaps off and the quarterback center exchange, and then it's kind of just flowed from there, and they haven't been able to get into any type of rhythm.
The line reaches the 43, 3rd and 6. Couple of receivers in the formation. Damian Harris, the junior quarterback. Big moment. Hands it off. Davis gets just enough. Tackled around the ankles about the 45-yard line. And boy, is that a sorely needed first down for Hillside. Needed 6, picked up about 8. Blue Cross Blue Shield first down for Hillside, leading by 2.
They gave it to their power back, 210 pounds. They put it in between the tackles. They wanted him to get the tough yards. He found a way to come through.
Bit of a quicker snap here, and they go right back to Davis. Runs through one defender and takes it into Falcons territory. C.J. Robinson felt the brunt of that bowl overhead by Davis.
I'll tell you what, though, Robinson, look at the toughness. Number 11 right here, one-on-one tackle. And yeah, he did get hit pretty tough, but he held on. I mean, that's a defensive back going against a very strong running back. No help there, and he held on for the tackle. You got to give him a lot of credit, and they're putting on his shoe.
You better hustle. 2nd and about 4. Into Falcon territory. Early stages, 4th quarter. Davis, room around the edge, down the sideline, shouldered out of bounds. With some quality yardage there before Jeanette knocked him out. And you see the game plan now by Hillside head coach Ray Harrison. This game a little too close for comfort. Go to my power back, and it's been Antonio Davis on 3 straight carries.
The offensive line now. Rodney Harris leading the way, pulling from his guard position there, clearing out the path. And these running backs, specifically Davis, you can just feel him kind of getting into a groove now, getting multiple carries on this drive.
A little slippage, back to Davis, picking his way through down the sideline, runs through one, couldn't stay in bounds, but he's inside the 15-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Aaron Summers on this running game for Hillside, Aaron.
Hillside running back Antonio Davis is somebody that has had to step up into his role this year after Isaiah Hunter tore his ACL. Coach Harrison asked Davis to take on more of the workload, and he has clearly stepped up. He's made more effort in the weight room and on the field, and it's showing on this drive here.
Yeah, absolutely. The weight room certainly running over some DBs and taking Hillside on the verge of maybe opening this up to a 2-score game. Time out of the field with 10:03 to play in the 4th quarter. Hillside driving, clinging to a 2-point lead when we return.
Miller Mott understands skills. Miller Mott understands goals. Our career-focused medical clinical assistant training makes it easier for you to reach your goals. Kick off your new career training today at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Mike here from Leith Auto Park Honda in Cary, and we've got clearance pricing for a limited time on award-winning Accord, Civic, and CRV models. We don't play any games or gimmicks because we don't have to. Our amazing staff and tremendous selection keeps our customers happy, and our Leith Peace of Mind pricing keeps them coming back. You'll also get Auto Park for life. That's oil changes, loaner cars, and more, all at no cost to you. So hurry in to Leith Auto Park Honda for clearance pricing before time runs out. It's easier here.
Miller Mott understands passion. Miller Mott understands flexibility. We have the game plan for you to get the training you need for an exciting career in massage therapy. Kick off your new career education at Miller Mott College in Cary.
Well, there's a look at the esteemed trophy that will be awarded to the victor tonight. Hillside and Jordan. Looks like a mini Vince Lombardi trophy, does it not?
Very similar. I'll tell you what, that trophy, though, is probably going to get a little dirty and damp down there with all the mud and the wetness on the cleats.
Along with tonight's trophy presentation, the winning coach will also get a year's supply of ShamWows.
Now, when Erin does the interview down there, she's going to have to be careful because there's going to be a lot of dirt down there.
This is first down for Hillside, leading by 2. Well, the 14-yard line, and it looked like another flinch on the O-line of Hillside. We'll knock him back by 5 yards. This has been a very imperfect night for the Hornets. So they ran out to an 8-0 lead in the first 2.5 minutes. And a 49-yard touchdown run by Brandon Turner. And then a couple of touchdowns inside the final 6 minutes of that first half. And they led 22-0 at intermission. But penalties, fumbles, and some missed assignments have been very costly to Hillside, but they still lead. Lead by 2. Davis through the middle, accelerating, runs through one, and slowed up one more time by Robinson around the 5-yard line. Nearly broke through.
Nick Campbell, the right guard, we'll see him pulling number 55, Maziaka, over on the left side, clearing the path for Davis. The senior running back, he's owned this drive, and there's the big right guard. You know, on that penalty play, he was trying to get out on the pull quick. That's why he got the false start there, holding his water, letting the play start, and then clearing out the way.
Now second at about 2.5. Davis again scrapes off one, forging toward the goal line, and Davis falls forward. And it is a touchdown, signaled by the back judge. Well, taking a look at the officials, or is it? So the back judge came in and said yes. The officials are going to mark him a little bit short. It is no touchdown, but it should be a 1st and goal now. Stretching forward. And evidently the knee was down, ball never broke the plane. Great camera work, guys.
Yeah, great job right there. Great video. It was a couple inches short.
And now the high jump by Harris took the snap, jumped over the defensive line, touchdown, Hillside. Damian Harris catapults over the defensive line. And Hillside takes a 28-20 lead with 8:51 left in the 4th.
Well, he jumped right over the top of his offensive line. As soon as the ball was snapped, he beat the defenders of Jordan. The ball crossed the plane. And boy, what a response this was for Hillside. I mean, things were not going their way. 20 points scored by Jordan. Hillside, nothing on the board. And that was the Davis drive. Antonio Davis just took over there. He continued to plow forward. The offensive line cleared the way, and then Harris capped it off.
Well, how big now is this extra point? Whistles are blown. And we're going to get an offside on Jordan. And there's some miscommunication by Jordan just prior to that extra point. One of the defenders wasn't sure if he needed to come off. He didn't know if he was the 12th man on the field or not, so he stayed on. But right now, again, choppy conditions on the field. Extra points are no gimmies here tonight. They're not gimmies in high school anyway, but especially on nights like tonight. But you knock this through, you're up by 9. You force Jordan to score twice.
2 possessions at this point. I mean, absolutely huge.
And now it looks like they're going to change their mind. They're taking the kicker off the field, and Damian Harris is back out there. So that's what that offside penalty does, half the distance to the goal. So they will spot it around the 1.5-yard line and go for 2. And another penalty marker comes in. It looks like an illegal substitution is going to be the call. And that's what it is, and it goes on Hillside. So now does that mean that the quarterback Harris is coming off the field and the kicker's returning? Because this is not a 1.5-yard penalty, it's a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. I mean, a lot of back and forth going on.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson, number 22, the kicker, he's back on the field. And the quarterback, Harris, checks out. Remember earlier, though, Miles Dillon, the holder, on a bad snap, was able to collect it, figure out a way to weave toward the end zone. You never know, but this is an ultra important extra point. Snap is clean. The kick is low, and it's missed. So after all of that, a penalty on Jordan that brought the quarterback on the field. An ensuing penalty on Hillside that took the quarterback off the field. And the key extra point was missed by Jordan Johnson. So it's an 8-point game. A touchdown and 2 ties it up with 8:51 left in the fourth.
Antonio Davis, he took over here. Look at him just plowing over defenders. He wanted it more than the Jordan defense, followed his offensive line, and he was finishing off runs. The senior really just took control, and then it was Harris finishing it off.
There's the Saltwater Seafood scoring summary. 69 yards, 9 plays, 2:45 off the clock. 28-20, Hillside leading Jordan. 31st matchup between these two Bull City rivals. Hillside out of the Big 8 3A conference, Jordan out of the Tri-6 4A. Hillside has not trailed tonight as we get ready for the next care kickoff. Next care strives to ensure that you and your family will experience the highest level of care. I mean, the way this game's been played, we still might have 6 different possessions left in this one.
No way to predict it here.
So here's the approach and the kick. Short down the right side, over the shoulder. This is Hayes. Swings to the right. Stopped it around the 31-yard line. 28-20, Hillside leading Jordan. So it looked like they were going to kick the extra point. Then when they were going for 2, kick the extra point after another penalty. Aaron Summers has more on that debacle, Aaron.
As soon as that ball left the foot of Jordan Johnson, he immediately turned and looked down at his holder, shook his head back and forth several times, emphatically moving his arms around. Clearly, he was not happy with where that ball was placed.
Well, the drive begins for Jordan. Swing it out. Jeanette leaping catch at the 35-yard line. Then 4 blue jerseys knock him down. Let's go back to that extra point and see what kind of histrionics we saw after the hold. Well, Dillon got it down, and there you see the mid-game
discussion,
to put it mildly.
And I'll tell you, though, it's got to be frustrating for a player out there when there's been as many penalties, stoppages in play, just no flow on both sides. It's tough. It's tough. You want things to be smooth when you're out there playing in both teams. There's been no rhythm.
And one more penalty for good measure called by Gary Wiley, our referee tonight, goes against Jordan. Well, back quickly that conversation between Jordan Johnson, the place kicker, and Miles Dillon. I mean, there's an absolute art to getting, for a holder, to get a snap down with the laces out and giving the kicker an opportunity to knock it through. Looking on that replay, it looked like the ball was almost leaning forward toward the goalpost, which would make it almost impossible for a kicker to knock it through. Incomplete pass by Ben Miller. 2nd and 15.
Well, it's the ball placement, but also, too, it's the timing. And if the kicker has to slow down, that can throw things off. Here, Miller being pursued. And he's just had to run for his life a lot of times tonight. Deontay Davis there chasing him down as well.
Now, Hillside playing for the first time in 3 weeks is attacked by the Cramp Monster for the first time tonight. 8:27 to go, fourth quarter. Jordan football down 8 when we return to Durham.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
It doesn't matter how you do it, just 86 it.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Chevrolet in Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of new Chevys, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Find new roads at hendrickchevrolet.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
(28-20), Hillside holding on to an 8-point lead on Jordan. We're on the campus of Hillside High School in Durham, and the water bill may go up after tonight's game with so much Gatorade, so much water, trying to keep these players hydrated. Jordan playing for the second time in 5 days. Hillside playing a game for the first time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and both of these teams coming into this ball game, one completely rested, the other one not at all. We've seen Hillside, the team that was rested, come out fast, then slow in the second half, and then Jordan, the team that's tired, they've really turned it on here in the second half.
Andrew Hayes with a bit of a course correction. Takes it to the right side, picks up the penalty yardage and more. But still will bring up a third down and long now for Jordan. Trailing by 8, they'll need 9.
Well, let's see where they lined up. James Jeanette, number 14, we've been talking about him all game, about his big play ability. He's down the bottom of the screen. He's going to be in one-on-one coverage. Out wide with Chris Rogers, number 20. From Miller, that's where I look to throw the ball to.
Third down, 4-receiver formation. So hopping on that defensive line, and did they cross? This might have been encroachment on Hillside. And that's what it is. Changed the play call considerably. We're talking third and a long 8. Now it's 3rd and 3, which brings Andrew Hayes and his running ability back into a potential bag of plays from which to choose.
Oh, and if you're a defender for Hillside, you know, on that original play, you know it's going to be a pass. Now you've got to play the pass and the run, and it really just changes up your game plan as well.
And again, we've seen this happen several times tonight with Hillside trying to anticipate snap counts. And really, no times have they anticipated it, and it's worked.
Right.
It's led to penalties every single time. And now we get a false start going on Jordan. And this will evidently, I'll back up from my last comment. It worked that time because evidently one official saw an offside, one saw an illegal procedure, and instead of the penalty on Hillside, it goes on Jordan. So now it's 3rd and about 14. Which means this is a 100% pass play for Miller. A lot of pressure coming. Retreating inside the 10. And Miller, oh, he escapes. And finally taken down short of the 10-yard line. Brian Harrison of Hillside was the gnat chasing him down, and Miller couldn't zigzag out of the way.
Oh, and Harrison came on the corner blitz unblocked. And Miller felt him coming, just nowhere to go. And then he did a good job trying to break free, but just not enough room. And a great call there. We haven't seen Harrison come on the blitz at all tonight, but there on 3rd and long, he shot through unblocked.
So now Andrew Hayes, the running back, and also doubles as the punter. We saw him punt one away in the 3rd quarter from halfway in his end zone. His heels are on the goal line now. As Womack is back to return the punt, he stands just outside his 40. Remember, he returned a punt for a touchdown earlier in the game, but it was called back on penalties. Snap, trouble. Hayes trying to escape. Now he'll kick it away, but it's blocked right back at him. Picked up near the goal line. It's loose. And Hillside's on it. Donald Moore has the football. And looks like they're going to call him just short of the end zone. And just short of the end zone. And meanwhile, a Hornet is down in the end zone injured. Hayes leaped up, took the snap, felt pressure coming, and then tried to fake his way out of trouble. And has faked himself into more trouble.
Well, a heck of a job by Hayes getting away from it, but then Moore knocking it down. He thought he had a touchdown. And both sides just kind of scrambling. And Jordan there, though, an opportunity there, and now the man's still down on the field, but an opportunity there to try to flip field positions, but Hillside's going to get it on the 1 foot line.
Yeah, they don't have a number yet on that Hornet who is down. They're feeling, looks like above the right knee, the quad area. And now we see getting up. And he's walking off under his own power. 28-20, Hillside leading Jordan, 6:47 to play, fourth quarter. But boy, is that a huge change now for the Hornets, who were kind of backed against the wall up until the last drive, and now defensive stop. And essentially a block punt inside the 5-yard line.
Well, they came out swinging after there's 20 unanswered points by Jordan. Antonio Davis really did. He took over on that drive and scoring the touchdown, predominant ball carrier there. And then their defense fed off of that momentum, getting off the field. And then the block punt. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for Hillside. If they can make this a 2-score game, to put Jordan in a tough position.
Well, there's some question right now. The head coach for Hillside, Ray Harrison, is actually on the field talking with 3 members of the officiating crew about the call on where this ball is going to be spotted. And perhaps, is it a touchdown? Was it a safety inside the end zone? What's the call? I know we're still waiting clarification here. I saw a couple of members of the Hornets head to the sideline with the safety gesture, but trying to get clarification from Gary Weiler right there, our referee. And it looks like they have called it as a safety. So Hillside takes a 30-20 lead. They didn't want this safety. They wanted possession at the 1-yard line or a touchdown granted on that block kick.
And now this safety is going to enable those 2-score games. Even though they wanted the touchdown, now it's 2 scores. Plus they're going to have the opportunity here to use up this clock. If I'm Hillside, I'm telling my guys, hey, hold on to the ball. Let's run the ball and force Jordan to either use their timeouts or watch this clock dwindle down.
Yeah. So now it's going to be a free kick for Jordan. But boy, if I'm Ray Harrison, I don't want that safety, because I'm going to take it in from a yard out, give it to my big back, and go up by 14, 15 points.
And he can't be pleased with that, because that was a touchdown opportunity.
Because right now, as we get ready for the next care, urgent care kickoff, if Jordan gets a defensive stop, they're in the middle of the field. They're still down by just a touchdown and a field goal, instead of down by, perhaps 14 to 16 points. So here's the free kick from the 20-yard line for Jordan. 2 timeouts left, 6:47 left in the fourth quarter. Trailed 22-0 at halftime. Cut it to 22-20. Misfired on the 2-point conversion. As this free kick is picked up on the sideline and returnable. Faison, who evidently had his foot on that sideline, so it is not returnable. Certainly there are a lot of, it's pretty easy to find the mark of your left foot on that sideline in these conditions. So the drive here for Hillside, up by 10. We'll start around the 45-yard line.
Again, ball security. I mean, that's the key now for the Hornets. You got to hold on to the ball. Do not give Jordan any mistakes, easy turnovers. You just want to hold on to the ball and force Jordan to be the aggressor. The way Hillside's been running the ball, Patrick. I mean, Davis is in the ball game now in the I formation. You want to lean on your senior running back.
Donald Moore is the fullback. The last drive belonged to Davis. He gets the call on first down. Picks his way through, taps the gas down the sideline of the 30. And it's along for the ride defensively. Samari Brooks, number 9. Leads to another Blue Cross Blue Shield first down. Be bold, be confident, live fearless, North Carolina. Penalty marker on that sideline, close to where that play ended. And judging by the reaction of Hillside, especially number 61 Rodney Harris, this may be going on the Hornets. Looks like you see right there from Antonio Davis. This might be a face mask on one of his teammates. That's what it is, a 5-yard face mask against Hillside, which effectively negates almost all of that run, Jay.
We'll see if we can spot it here.
They're calling this one on the running back right there for the stiff arm. He did hold on to it. He held on for 13 yards.
And Davis was displeased, but that was an excellent call because he held on to it and he grabbed it and pulled it down. And there's so many times we see defenders doing it. It's rare we see offensive players, but Davis, he grabbed it and pulled it.
So first down back at the 43-yard line. On that face mask, we talked about a net unrealized gain of another 15 or 16 yards. Clock approaching 6 minutes. Davis, no need for a stiff arm this time for a couple of yards. Well, let's go back to that call because what is the rule as far as how long you can be engaged with the face mask? Can you just be extended, palm open, and not grab?
Well, the grabbing and the pulling is what got the penalty. You can hit it, you can knock it, but as long as you don't grab, because once you grab, that's the same thing as a defender grabbing it, and then the pulling, that just makes it even more egregious.
So fully extended, even if you're going kind of side by side for 8 yards, as long as you're not grabbing, acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get a flag now. You don't want to continue to keep it up there because you're going to put yourself at risk. But that was a definite penalty there.
8 yards to go on second down. Davis once again. Takes it inside the 40. Well, now this becomes a game drive here for Hillside. Up by 10. As tight as this game became here in the late stages, third quarter, early fourth. Jordan had a 2-point conversion try to tie things up and failed. But then Antonio Davis put together a big drive, then the blocked punts, the safety. And now up by 10 and marching once again. Hillside can almost effectively put this game away with some points as they take off precious minutes.
Brandon Turner, number 1, with fresh legs into the ballgame. We've seen him do damage on the outside.
And one more penalty flies in.
And we have no penalty on the play.
I don't have the official count on penalties, but I would say at least 25. Now, we had 13 at halftime.
13 at half, and it seems like there's been even more.
You talk about these jerseys needing 2 or 3 cycles in the washing machine. Even the penalty flags. You may need to wash those 3 or 4 times.
We'll throw them both in there.
Third and a long 10. Harris gives it off, and it was red. Turner demolished in the backfield. Isaiah Hargett, who's had just a fantastic game on the linebacking core for Jordan. A couple of fumble recoveries, and again, straight up the middle. Read that play, and a solo tackle in the backfield for a loss.
Well, unblocked. I mean, he shot through on the blitz. We're here now, punting situation. But again, with the conditions out there, this isn't a gimme for Hillside.
No.
I mean, they've got to be careful here and make sure they're very, very cautious to get this ball off.
Well, if I'm the Falcons, I'm gunning after a punt block here. Snap a bit high. Not a lot of pressure, but it's a poor kick off the side of the foot. Rolls, though, inside the 30 and will be stopped dead around the 23-yard line. So a Hillside with a 10-point lead. Back on defense. Jordan down 10, 2 timeouts left, 3:16 to play. But again, they have the arm of Ben Miller, who has hit for some long pass plays this year, including once tonight.
Well, with Miller, you got a chance. I mean, with his arm strength, this isn't your normal high school quarterback. He can sling it down the field He's got James Jeanette on the outside. He's got weapons. It's just going to be, can his offensive line protect? Because the pass rush of the Hornets, they know they've got to throw the ball, so they're going to be coming after Miller.
Time of the essence now for Jordan. Drive starts the 24. 4 receivers across the field, some pressure. Miller feels it but can't spin away. Brought down by Jalen Burnett. So Miller absorbs a loss. And the clock will wind down to around 3 minutes.
And the pressure just getting to Miller. And I'll tell you what, Hillside, they're playing cautious. They've got James Leathers, the safety, number 9. He's playing about 35 yards back, the safety. I don't think I've ever seen it. It looks like he's setting up for the punt return, but they're trying to play it safe. They do not want to give up any big plays.
Pressure again up the middle. Being chased. Miller one more time. Sent it to the sideline. Nice comeback route. And the reception made inside the 30 and into about the 34-yard line. Craig Kroom caught the big touchdown reception earlier in this half, 52 yards out the reception.
Kroom's been good tonight. He had that touchdown, but also on these underneath routes, and we'll watch him here come back to the ball, just like you said there. A little bit of a pick from the freshman wide receiver. Good job clearing out a path, and Kroom getting the extra yards.
So 2 yards to go on 3rd down. 2:37 on the 4th quarter clock. Hillside up by 10. Pressure coming again. Quick sideline pass. It's incomplete. Looking for Newell. And now it's 4th down.
Well, they got to go for it here. I mean, this is one of those situations you don't have any other option. Try to get Miller outside of the pocket here. Try to get him away from the rush.
Yeah, they've been sending Brian Harrison off of that corner route almost every play here the last couple of possessions. Number 3. 4th down and 2. Miller to the sideline is tipped and broken up and incomplete on 4th down. Womack blocked it. Number 21 deflected the pass, and Hillside will take over.
But I'll tell you what, this is great coverage by Womack, but also recognizing the down in the distance. 4th and 1. He wasn't playing 10 yards deep. He knew that Jordan was going to try to throw the ball quickly there. He shot in, knocked the ball down. Now offense is back out on the field. A great stop by this defense.
And the Jordan Falcons can only stop it 2 times. Down by 10. 2:28 left. So normally you would say the simple part of the game is just the center quarterback exchange, but that has not been the most elementary for the Hillside Hornets tonight.
Anything can happen here. Seriously, I mean, we've seen it all tonight. So Hillside, they've got to execute if they want to come away with this one. Even though they're up by 10, they've got to hold on to the ball. Quarterback center exchange is so important.
So Davis on the carry. Lost a couple of yards. Again, Jordan with the ability to stop the clock only twice. So you have to figure now as they let the clock run following that 1st down carry for a loss, that after 2nd down and 3rd down in this sequence, that's when the timeouts will likely be burned by Anthony Barber. So 2nd down and about 12. And the clock now to 1:44 on the snap. And Davis covering the football with a couple of hands. And now we'll see if Jordan takes a timeout, and they will. 1:43 left. Hillside 30, Jordan 20. Hornets on their way to an 11th straight win on Jordan. And let's get to our Miller Mod game-changing play of the game. The first of the 3 fake punts we saw tonight from Hillside, but the one that had the most impact on this Hillside win.
Miles Dillon, he did it here. He changed the course of this game with this explosive play. We'll see a quick snap. Jordan, they weren't even ready for it. They weren't set, and he shot through to the outside. This opened up the scoring onslaught by the Hornets, but you never know when it's going to be. That was in the first half. A special teams play going to change the tide of this game.
Well, that's the Miller Mod College play of the game. Miller Mod, changing futures, changing lives. Kick off your new career with Miller Mod. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter up here in the broadcast booth. Aaron Summers down on the sideline. Aaron's going to have a pretty stiff cleaning bill for her shoes. We appreciate her work tonight once again. Only one timeout remaining for Jordan. They trail by 10, 30-20. A third down play coming up for Hillside. Damian Harris hands to Davis. And Davis again is tough to bring down, even 2 or 3 on 1. So strong, upper body, lower body. Jordan right now not yet taking that last time out. It's 4th down. We'll need about 3. But Anthony Barber sitting on that timeout for the moment. Need to reach about the 21. 4th down. And Damian Harris, boy, doing his job right here, the junior quarterback. He knows how much time he can let leak off of that clock. Ball snapped at 101. Davis one more time, looking left, running through the middle. He will have the first down. And we're inside a minute. And that will cinch up an 11th straight Hillside win over Jordan.
Davis, in baseball, we see closers coming to the game to finish it off, and he's like the closer here tonight. Just what he's done in this second half and really 4th quarter. He came in, things weren't going well. He took over on that scoring drive. I think he got the ball every single carry except for once when he scored. And then here, salting away this game, running the ball. And these defenders, they kind of just dragged him down, and they're tired. And here, they're going to go and see the marker to see if he did, in fact, get it. And
this is going to be the closest measurement we've had all night, Jay.
There's a couple that are a couple yards.
There was one in the first half as Hillside does get the first down. That I still don't know why it was called for, but it was short by 2 yards. And then it was the fake punt that we saw as our Miller Mott player of the game. I think it's part of maybe a grand conspiracy. I think it's part of a greater plan for the Hornets, and it worked.
Worked out well.
30-20. Jordan with 1 timeout left. And the Hornets will line up in the victory formation. Taking a knee, the quarterback, Damian Harris. And I'm glad he brought up Antonio Davis one more time, the senior tailback, because early in the game it was Brandon Turner. He got the start. Then we saw Donald Moore get a fairly good number of carries. But when they needed first downs, when they needed to maintain possession, they went to number 44, Antonio Davis, who we met before the game tonight. He's the reason that Hillside is able to hang on and win once again over Jordan.
Yeah, and he's a senior too. It's great to see one of your leaders kind of finish off the ball game. And he knew when his team had lost the momentum, and he stepped up when they needed him the most.
As the final couple of seconds will tick off, and the junior quarterback Damian Harris gets the job done. And Ray Harrison's Hillside Hornets will have defeated Jordan for the 11th straight time at a 22-0 lead. At the 22-20, Jordan had a 2-point conversion to try and tie it, but failed. And Hillside puts it away with Antonio Davis, and it is a final. A Hillside 30, Jordan 20. We'll come back, and we'll have the trophy presentation. Aaron Summers down the sideline with the victorious Hillside Hornets crew when we return. Hillside over Jordan, 30-20.
I'm a student athlete, which means I'm still learning.
I'm still growing.
I'm getting important lessons about perseverance, teamwork,
determination, respect, and dedication through playing sports at my school.
Mom, Dad, Coach, in a few years,
I'll probably forget a lot of the details, but I won't forget the lessons I learned
from the way you act towards my teammates,
coaches, referees, and other fans. What kind of lesson do you want me to learn? I'm watching.
Sportsmanship, together we make the right call.
This message has been brought to you by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Get $3,500 total cash on a 2019 Sorento V6 when financed through Kia Motors Finance.
Is this the world's best sandwich? Nope. Lance's real peanut butter between 2 toasted crackers is the best. Pick up some tasty sandwich crackers from Lance.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements. Just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Listen up, Ninja Warriors. You've seen it on TV, and now you can take on the challenge. The Real American Ninja Warrior course at Launching Pad is now open. Need more thrills? Head over to the launch tower for the jump of a lifetime. Only at Launching Pad in Raleigh.
From a big SUV with standard 7-passenger seating to a hybrid SUV with 43 mpg combined, at Kia, we're bringing America's best value to you. Get 0% APR for 60 months plus $500 SUV bonus cash on the 2019 Sorento.
Hillside, the victory, 30-20 over Jordan. They get a 3-2 in their final non-conference tune-up. Now let's go downstairs. Aaron Summers is with a happy swarm of Hornets. Aaron?
Coach, how crucial was Antonio Harris's play today in how you guys got the win?
It was very crucial, just pounding that ball. That's what we need to do in these sloppy situations right there. We need to burn some clock, so he did a really good job for us.
What did you do in the second half in order to withstand the push from Jordan?
We didn't do anything. I think Jordan did a great job. We turned the ball over, which we shouldn't do, and I think I gave hats off to them. They're just bringing that energy back second half. So, you know, fourth quarter, we kind of got our bearings back, so to finish the game strong.
3 weeks off and you come and get a win like this. How important was it to start off before conference play with this win?
We needed it. You know, I think the guys need to get their legs back and get in game speed, and I think I'm just happy we got a win.
All right, here is the Friday Night Rivals Champions Trophy. Congratulations on the win.
It is becoming a thing. Friday Night Rivals Trophy ceremony, and the biggest celebration we've seen all night for the Hillside Hornets. Congratulations to them. They get to 3-2, and they now are ready for conference play. Jay, some final thoughts quickly from you on what has been a very adverse last 5 days for Jordan, last 3 weeks for Hillside.
I think both teams have a lot to be proud of. And for Jordan, boy, quick turnaround, and they fought back. They were down at half, 22-0. They made this a ball game, and it looked like they were going to have a chance to win it at the end. So the fight they showed, resolve, was huge. And for Hillside, they haven't played 3 weeks. They came out to a fast start. Now, they made a lot of mistakes, but the key is they started fast and they closed the game out. And there's things they can learn from and improve on, but it's great learning and improving after a win, and they're going to have an opportunity to do that this week in practice.
All right, Jordan opens up Tri-6 play next weekend against Athens Drive. Hillside into the Big 8 against Southern Durham. Well, all of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful folks in My Computer Career, Oxnard and Paramar, and Hendrick Chevrolet, who make these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our great supporters for their contributions on our Friday Night Rivals telecast. Wake 86 at Blue Cross Blue Shield, North Carolina, the U.S. Marines, Miller Mott College, Auto Park Honda, Saltwater Seafood, and NextCare. We'd like to thank the participating high schools and their administrators for their support. For Patrick Keenis, Jay Sodenholzer, Aaron Summers, good night from Durham. Hillside beats Jordan 30-20.